Hi everyone. So just like GATE 2018 and 2019, now we are going to bring GATE 2020 Aptitude PYQS solution. So from all the branches, mechanical, civil, electrical, EC, instrumentation, production, engineering, from all the branches, all the PYQs have been solved. So the way we are solving in GATE 2018 video and 2019 video, in the same way we will be proceeding in GATE 2020 video. No formula mugging up, no remembering formula. Only with pure concept we will be answering all the questions, and we are actually understanding the depth of the question. Also, we will see how to answer English comprehension questions. There, you don't need to mug up a lot of things, but by pure aptitude, by your knowledge, you can answer your questions. So that we will also see. So yeah, if you have seen 2018, 2019 videos, you can proceed with 2020. If you are directly seeing 2020, you can still proceed, but after seeing this video, do consider watching 2018 and 2019 video. Okay, yeah, so you can start learning. It will be around 4 hours video, and from the previous video there is this data which is quite disappointing. Like people are watching the video but they are not subscribing. So 75% of the watch time is coming from those people who are not even subscribing. So please do consider subscribing, because it gives a lot of motivation. When I read positive comments, when I see subscribers going, when I see views are coming, so I would know that my efforts are reaching the people. So they are watching the content, they are liking the content. So that would give me a lot of motivation. So yeah, please consider subscribing. And yeah, the PDF will be uploaded in the Telegram group. PDF in Telegram group. Okay, so you can join the Telegram group. The link will be in description. And the PDF for 2018 and 2019 have already been uploaded in the Telegram group. So for 2020 as well, I will upload the PDF. So yeah, you can join there. And what we will target, we are targeting around 2K views and 150 likes. So yeah, this is our target for this video. I hope we will be able to achieve it. Okay, so you can start studying now. It will be a 4-hour long video. So have patience and watch all the solutions. Thank you. Hi everyone. So let's solve GATE 2020 PYQs. So this is going to be the first set. So this is the first question. This book, including all its chapters, dash interesting, the student as well as the instructor dash in agreement about it. Okay. So I told you one thing, whenever there are two commas, you can drop the middle statement. The statement which is in the middle of the two commas, you can drop that. So tell me, is, am or are? That will come as per this book, right? So this book is interesting. This book, including all its chapter, is interesting. The book is interesting. That's why is will come. The student as well as the instructor blank in agreement about it. So here this as well as, the same thing goes along with. The same thing goes for along with. So whenever as well as or along with is used, so the noun which has come before it, that will be telling whether is will be used, are will be used, was will be used, or were will be used. Like Ram along with his friends going there. So now is, am or are, what will come here? Is, am or are, what will come? Now along with is there, so see before it, that is Ram, which is singular, so is will come. Similarly, the students as well as the instructor, but you will not see the second one, you will see the first one, the one which is before as well as. So as the students is before as well as, so here are or were will come, are or were. So were is not there, so are will come. So is and are, is and are. The book, including all its chapter, is interesting, because the middle one we can drop. The students as well as the instructor are in agreement about it. Okay, so before as well as we need to see. Same goes for along with. For along with as well, we will see the before one. Ram along with his friends is going there. Okay, so the before one you always need to see, and based on that you need to tell is, am or are will come. Okay. People were prohibited. After prohibited, always from will be used. People were prohibited from, right? after prohibited always from is used. There are other words as well where from is used. I am not able to remember. Prohibited from and denied from. No, no, not denied from. Denied for. I was denied for eating this food. Yeah. So after denied for will be used, not from. Prohibited from, and there is one more word which I am not able to recall right now. So yeah. So these kinds of words are there where it is fixed. After prohibited, always from will be used. I was prohibited from parking their vehicle near the entrance of the main administration building. If I am able to recall it, I will tell you in the uh, lecture only, in the next part of the lecture. Okay, I am not able to recall right now. People were prohibited. After prohibited, from will be used always. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Do, undo. This is the antonym. Antonym of do is undo. Trust, distrust. Okay, not entrust, not interest, not untrust. So when you are writing in antonym, two are two are the most popular words, dis and un. These two will be used most of the time. Dis and un. Do, undo. Trust, not untrust. Untrust is not a word. Distrust. So these two are already cut. While writing antonym, en or in will come very rarely. It can come where it can come. Compatible, incompatible, right? Antonym of compatible will be incompatible. So they may come, but mostly dis and un come. Dis and un. These two come mostly. Now this one you need to know the meaning for this. Stock markets plunged at the news of the COP. Plunged. This will come. Okay, you can Google the meaning of all these words. Plunged means to fall down drastically. Like stock market fall down drastically. Okay, so plunged will come. All these meanings, poised, plugged, probed, they did not suit. But if I had been the student, I wouldn't know the meaning of all these four words, then I would have dropped this question. So most of the guys would have dropped this question. If they don't know the meaning, if they know the meaning, they can answer. So there is no other way of answering this question, that you need to know the meaning as well. You just need to know the meaning to answer this question. Okay, and there is very rare chance that people will be knowing the meaning. So yeah, you can drop this question if you don't know the meaning, or if you want to learn right now, then you can Google the meanings. Poised, plugged, plunged, probed. Plunged meaning I told you. What do you mean by plung? Plung means to fall down drastically. So the stock markets fall down drastically at the news of the COP. Fifth one, PQRS are for individual. How many teams of size exceeding one can be formed with Q as a member? So team size is exceeding one. That means team size can be 2, 3 or 4. And Q as a member, Q has to be a member. So Q is fixed member. Q is fixed. So if we are making the team of 2, then if we are making a team of 2, then with Q you can have P, with Q you can have R, with Q you can have S. If we are making the team of 3, then with Q you have two options, right? You have two options. You have two blank space. In these two blank space, you have three openings. Sorry, you have two openings and three candidates. Q is fixed. You have two openings and three candidates. Three candidates are Q, R, S. So out of three, you need to choose two. So three possible cases. Here also three possible cases. And when you are framing a team of 4, that means all 4 will be there. P, Q, R, S. So this is one case. 3 plus 3 plus 1, 7. Did you understand this question? Q is the fixed one. So with Q, P can come. If you are framing a team of 2, Q, P, Q, R, Q, S. So 3 teams you can frame. Now if you are framing a team of 3 people, then Q is fixed. Now you have 2 spots left. 2 spots left. And you have 3 openings. Sorry, you have 2 openings and 3 people are there. 3 people are there with 2 openings. So out of 3, you need to choose 2. So 3C2. And what will be the combination? I can write as well. With Q, PR can come. With Q, PS can come. And with Q, RS can come. with Q, PR, PS and RS. Yeah. So these three are the possible cases here. Okay, these three and this one. So 7 cases are there. Okay, well and good. Very easy question of PNC. Let's see this question. So first they are telling that definition of NPA. NPA of a bank in India is defined as an asset which remains unpaid by a borrower for a certain period of time in terms of interest, right? Principal or both. So now RBI has changed the definition of NPA thrice. RBI changed the definition of NPA thrice during 1993 to 2004. So from 1993 to 2004, they changed the definition of NPA 3 times in terms of holding the loans. Okay, and the holding period was reduced by 1/4 each time. In 1993, the holding period was 360 days. So, and RBI changed the definition of NPA thrice during 1993 to 2004 in terms of holding period of loans, right? So the holding period was reduced by 1/4 each time. So in 1993, it was 360 days. 1/4 means 1 by 4. 1/4 reduced by 1/4. That means 1/4 means 1 by 4. One quarter is 1 by 4. So now this was changed 3 times. Now first time it was changed. First time change. First time change. It is reduced by 1/4. Let me tell you one thing. I have 100 rupees. Now the rupees is reduced by 1/4. So how many rupees I am having? Reduced by 1/4. That means I am having 3/4 of the rupees. 1/4 of the rupees has been reduced. I spent 1/4 of the rupees. So I will say that my money is reduced by 1/4. That means 100 minus 100 into 1 by 4. It is reduced by 1/4. So you have to multiply by 3 by 4. So multiply 360 with 3 by 4, 270. This will be the first change. The second time change, it will be reduced by another 1 by 4/4. That means another 90 days. Basically, what is the quarter of 360 days? Quarter of 360 days is 90 days. What is the quarter of 360 days? 90 days. So in each modification, 90 days will be subtracted. So first 360 days, then first time change 270, then another change 210, then another change. Okay, 90 days will be a lesson. Sorry, 90 days. So 180. It will be 180. And third time change, it will be another 90. So 90 will be left. And it was changed thrice during 1993 to 2004. So this change would have been 2004 only. It was changed thrice during 1993 to 2004. So in 1993, it was 360 days. First time change, it became 270. Second time change, it became 180. Third time change, it became 90. So you can say that from 1993 to 2004, it was changed thrice. And in 2004, it became 90 days. So this is what they are asking. Based on the above paragraph, the holding period of loans in 2004 after the third revision was 90 days. So when the third revision was there, after third revision, it was 90 days, not 180 days. Here there is no revision. In 1993, it was 360 days without revision. After the first revision, it was 270. After the second revision, it was 180. After the third revision, it was 90. So third revision and 2004, 90 days. That's it. Now this is very good question. Not very good question, sorry, very easy question. Z, what is mixed? What is mixed? Sorry, not mixed. Seventh question is there. So Z, then YX is mixed. And WV. Now PQRST URST. अरे यार PQRSTUV. Okay. So what is mixed? UTS is mixed. And RQP. Now what will be mixed? JKLMNO. Then P comes. So 3 letter, 4 letter will be mixed, I guess. So it will start from K. So O, N, M, L will be missed, then K, J, these will come. So K, J, this is the only option where I can see K, J. This will come. So C is correct. Let's move on to the next question. Now this is a good question on PNC. In 4-digit integers from 1001 to 9999, the digit 37 group appears how many times? The digit group 37. So 37 is fixed. It's a 4-digit number. 37 is fixed. That means 37. This place is fixed. Now you have 2 vacancy left. This can be one of the cases. The other cases can be the 37 comes in between. 37 comes here. Then you have these 2 vacancies. And the third case can be that this 37 comes in the last. Then you have these 2 vacancies. So tell me, what are the possibilities here? 10 possibilities. Because 0 can also come in the end, right? So 100. What are the possibilities here? Here only 9 possibilities there. If 0 comes, it will be a 3-digit number. Let's assume if 0 is coming here, so it will be 0, 37, any number can come. Let's assume 80 is coming. So it is a 3-digit number now. So 0 cannot come at a first place. So only 9 possibility. But 0 can come at last. Let's assume 9 is coming here, 3, 7, 0 can come at last. So it will still be a 4-digit number. So 9 possibility here again. So 9 into 9, 81. Here, how many possibilities? 9. Wait a minute. Sorry. 10 possibilities. Sorry, 10 possibility. All 10 possibilities there, no? Repetition is allowed because in between 999, this number will also come 9, 37, 9. So here repetition is allowed. And here 9, here 10. So 90 here, 90 here. So 100 plus 90 plus 90, 280. C option is correct. 37 is fixed. Okay, we gave them 2 places, 37 is fixed. Now we have 2 places left. In first case, 10 possibility, 100. In the second case, 9 and 10 possibility, 90. In third case, 9 and 10 possibility, 90. That's it. Let's see the question number 9. O is the center. This is the semicircle. O is the center. You have to find the ratio of AC plus CB by AB. Okay, so let's assume this much length is x. If this much is x, this will also be x and this will also be x. Why so? Because they all are radius. X is what? Radius. So if it is radius, they all will be same. What will be AC now? AC will be root x square plus x square. That will be root 2x. And what will be CB? CB will be the same only. So tell me what will be the answer. AC is root 2x plus CB is root 2x upon AB is, what is AB? 2x. So it will be 2 root 2x upon 2x. It will be 2 root 2x upon 2x. So answer will be root 2. A option. Very straightforward, very easy. Let's move on to this one. This is an excellent question actually. This is the best question I would say of this set. So the revenue and the expenditure of 4 different companies PQRS in 2015 are shown in the figure. So revenue and expenditure. So this one is revenue, this one is expenditure. Revenue, expenditure. We will call this one as red, this one as blue. Whatever color they are, this one is red, this one is blue. Red, blue, red, blue. मैं color blind हूँ भाई, मेरे को नहीं दिखता. हूँ नहीं actually. I am not color blind. Just saying, just kidding. Yeah. So if the revenue of company Q in 2015 was 20% more than that in 2014, revenue of company Q revenue of company Q in 2015 was 45 million. 45 million plus 45 million. The revenue of company Q was in 2015 was 20% more than it was in 2014. So let's assume if it was X in 2014, we are talking about revenue. If it was X in 2014, it became 45 million in 2015, which was 20% more than that in 2014, that means x into 1.2 is 45 million. Did you understand this point? X into 1.2. What is the 20% of x? That is 0.2x. So 20% more. Let's assume I have 100 rupees. I am saying that in tomorrow I will have 20% more rupees. Today I am having 100 rupees. Tomorrow I will have 20% more rupees. That means initially I am having 100. What will be the 20% of 100? That will be 20. So tomorrow I will be having 120 rupees. Similarly, today I am having x rupees. Tomorrow or in 2015 I will be having 20% more. So x into 1.2, that will be 45 million. Whenever you can't understand any statement in these kind of problems, always take an example. That what if I had this much of rupees? So what I will say. So if you take the example, you will never do it wrong. So how many rupees, what was the revenue in 2014? That we can calculate. 45 by 1.2. That I need to do. 45 by 1.2. 37.5 million. 37.5 million was the revenue in 2014. Revenue in 2014. And the company Q had earned a profit of 10% on expenditure in 2014. Then its expenditure in 2014 was. Okay. So they had earned a profit of 10% on expenditure in 2014. Let's assume I spend 100 rupees. I purchase something from a shop. I spend 100 rupees for that. So I spend 100 rupees to purchase a book. Then I sell it with 10% profit. Then in how much rupees I am selling it? My expenditure was 100 rupees. I am selling it with 10% profit. That means I am selling it in 110 rupees. 10% of this. So if I am assuming my expenditure was y, now my profit was 10%. So if my expenditure was y, my profit was 1.1. Sorry, my profit was 10%. So my total revenue would have been 1.1 into y. Look, my profit is 10%. That means 10% of 100. That means 10 rupees. My profit is 10 rupees. So my total revenue will become 100 plus 10, 110 rupees. I purchased a book in 100 rupees. Then I sold it. So my expenditure was 100 rupees. I sold it with the profit of 10% on expenditure. My expenditure was 100 rupees. 10% on expenditure, that means 10 rupees. So I earned a profit of 10 rupees. So total revenue I had, that was 110 rupees. So similarly, their expenditure was y. So they gave y rupees to someone and purchased something and they sold it for 10% profit. That means they sold it for 1.1 into y rupees. So they sold it for 1.1 into y rupees. That is equals to, we know their revenue. Their revenue is 37.5 million. So y, their expenditure will be 37.5 by 1.1. So it will be 34.1 nearly. So that will be the answer. Did you understand this point? We were given their revenue in 2015 by the given statement that in 2015 it was 20% more than that of 2014. Then we got to know what was their revenue in 2014. Their revenue in 2014 was 37.5 million. Now they are saying that they had earned a profit of 10% on expenditure. That means if they expended, if their cost was y rupees, they sold it for 1.1 into y rupees. So 1.1 into y, that is equals to their revenue. So the revenue was 37.5 million. So what was their expenditure? 34.1 million. So C is the correct answer. Well and good. Let's move on to the next set. So this will be our next set. Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award was conferred on. After conferred, always on is used. Conferred on means giving someone that award. The Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award was conferred on Mary Kom. That means giving someone that award. A 6 times world champion in boxing recently in a ceremony at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So at versus in. Look, at will be used for a particular place and in will be used for a generalized place. Generalized place. Generalized. Like you will say that I am currently in Delhi. You will say that I am currently in Delhi. And you will say that I am currently at Ram's house. I am currently at Ram's house. So Ram's house is not a generalized place. Right? Similarly, Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is not a generalized place. A particular specific place is there. Right? So for a specific place. Specific place. So if you say that तुम किसी दिल्ली के रेस्टोरेंट में हो, तो what you will say? I am at a restaurant in Delhi. I am at a restaurant in Delhi. Restaurant is not a generalized place. Or I am at a mall in Delhi. So I am at a, so that is not a generalized place. And in Delhi is a generalized place. Well and good. Got it? So this is how it is used. So this is a specific place. This is a generalized place. Not a specific place, I should write. Like this theory doesn't matter. I hope you have understood the concept. Specific, by what do I mean by specific place? At Ram's house, Rashtrapati Bhavan, and in Delhi, or like example I can write in Delhi. In Delhi. Or here example I can write at restaurant at restaurant in Delhi. What my point? So on at. Despite a string of poor performance, the chances of KL Rahul's selection in the team are, what do you think what will come? KL Rahul is not performing well, still he will be selected. That's what they want to say. Despite of, even if he is not performing well, still he will be selected. So despite of a poor performance, despite of giving a poor performance, still the chances of KL Rahul selection in the team is, the chances of KL Rahul selection in the team are bright. So not slim. His chances are bright. He will be selected. Obvious, we can't say, and uncertain is that. Uncertain and slim, these are not possible answer, because they are saying that even if he is performing bad, his chances of selection is high. He has a chances of selection that are high. Why so? We don't know the reason, but the statement is given. Despite of poor performance, the chances of KL Rahul selection in the team are bright and obvious. So the better word I would say that are bright, because they are talking about the chances. Chances are never 100% surety, and obvious is used for 100% surety only. They are saying that chances. So it can't be obvious. It cannot be obvious. So they are talking about the chances. So chances are bright. So you have to tell the antonym: cover, uncover, associate, disassociate. Not unassociate, not inassociate, not misassociate, dissociate. Okay. So this antonym you need to know: cover, uncover, associate, disassociate. I told you mainly two will come, un and dis. Here dis will come. When you read the word unassociate, have you ever heard the word unassociate? No, you haven't heard. So unassociate will not be the answer. So disassociate. Okay. Let's see this question. Read this paragraph, then we will answer. Hit by the floods, the kharif crops in various parts of country have been affected. Officials believe that the loss in production of the kharif crop can be recovered in the output of rabi crop, so that the country can achieve its food grain production target of 291 million in the crop year. They want to achieve its food grain production target in the year 2019. The month are June, July. They are hopeful that good rains in July-August will help soil return moisture for a longer period, helping winter sown crops such as wheat and pulses during November-February period. So what is happening? Due to the floods, the Kharif crop in various parts of country have been affected. Okay, very easy line. Now officials believe that the loss in the production of Kharif crops will be recovered by the winter crop, that is Rabi. So the country will be able to achieve its food grain production target in the month July-June, and they are hopeful that in July-August there will be good rain, and because of that the soil will retain its moisture, and the winter crops such as wheat and pulses, they will be there, like winter crops will be good enough. So that's what they are inferring. This is a very straightforward paragraph. I don't think there will be any issue. Officials declared that the food grain production target will be met due to good rain. No, they are not. They haven't declared. They are hopeful. They are hopeful. So not declared. Official want the food grain production target to be met by November-February period. No, they want the food grain production target to met by June-July. Officials feel that food grain production target cannot be met due to floods. No, they don't feel like that. They are hopeful that they will be able to meet it in July-June due to good rains. So this is also not clear. Official hope that food grain target will be met due to good Rabi production. Yeah. So they are hopeful that food grain target will be met due to good Rabi production. Where it is mentioned? Here it is mentioned. Officials believe that the loss in production of Kharif crops can be recovered in the output of Rabi. The output of the Rabi. So it can be recovered from output of Rabi. Okay. So option D is correct. See this question. So in these kind of question, you can assume any value of n, then you can put the values here and you can get your final answer. Let's solve it by assuming, then we will solve by general method. So the difference between the sum of first, I am assuming n to be 1. So the difference between the sum of first two natural number, sum of first two natural number. So what are first two natural number? 1 and 2. Sum of first two natural number is 3. And the sum of first n natural odd number. So the sum of first one odd number. What is first odd number? That is 1 only. What are natural number? Natural number are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. What are odd number? 1, 3, 5, 7. We are talking about first two natural number 1 plus 2, 3. First odd number, that is 1. That is 1. So difference 3 minus 1 is 2. That's it. Put n equals to 1, which will give you 2. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 plus 1, yeah, 2. 2 minus 1, 1. 2 plus 1, 3. So only this is giving me 2. So B is the correct answer. I just assumed the value of n equals to 1. So first two natural number 1 plus 2, 3. First odd number 1. 3 minus 1, 2. I will put the value of n equals to 1 in these options. Only one option is giving me 2 answer. So that is option B. If there was more than one option that were giving me 2 answers, then I would have assumed n value 2. Then I would recheck. But here luckily I got in the first attempt only. And how we would solve it generally. So what is the sum of first 2n natural number? Sum of first 2n natural number. That would be n into n plus 1 by 2. So 2n into 2n plus 1 by 2. That would be 2n square plus n. And sum of first n odd natural numbers. Odd natural numbers. That would be n odd number. N by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So 2 will be common. So n into n. That would be n square. So what will be the difference? Difference will be n square plus n. What will be the difference? Difference will be 2n square plus n minus n square. That would be n square plus n. So our option is B. Let's see the sixth question. Now in 2019 question paper, there was a question on repo rate, and I explained you what is a repo rate. right? In the previous lecture only, in GATE 2019 lecture, I explained you what is a repo rate. Although here definition is already given. So what is repo rate? Repo rate is the rate at which Reserve Bank of India lends commercial bank, and reverse repo rate is the rate at which Reserve Bank of India borrows money from commercial bank. So this is our RBI, this is our commercial bank, and this is people. Well and good. So what will happen? From these commercial bank will have some money. From where they get some money? They get some money from people, like we invest our money in bank, or they get some money from RBI. The RBI, what does RBI do? RBI prints the note. They print the note. They print the note. So they can give money to commercial bank, but at a interest rate, and that interest rate is known as repo rate. So RBI lends some money to commercial bank. RBI lends some money to commercial bank at some interest rate. That interest rate is repo rate. Now sometimes RBI also need to take money from commercial bank. Now you will say that RBI print the note. Why do they want to take the money from commercial bank? To maintain the inflation. Okay, to maintain the inflation. महंगाई को maintain करने के लिए. Now, how do they maintain the inflation? By taking money. That you can study in economics. You can YouTube. You can search for a video on YouTube. That is a very interesting thing. So you can study that in economics, but we don't need to study that here. So sometimes RBI takes money from commercial bank as well. So at what rate they will take? That is known as reverse repo rate. And what is repo rate in our country currently? That is 4%. So just for effect. Okay. So this is known as repo rate. So repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends commercial bank, and reverse repo rate is the rate at which RBI borrows money from commercial bank. Now they are talking about increase and decrease in repo rate. Okay. So let's see what will happen if repo rate is increased. If repo rate is increased, what will happen? If repo rate is increased, that means they will, if repo rate is increased, that means they will take less rupees from RBI. They will take less rupees from RBI. If repo rate is increased, that means interest rate has been increased. So they will take less rupees from RBI. Now commercial bank give loan to the people, right? Let's assume you are someone who needs a loan of 100 rupees. You need a loan of 100 rupees. Now you will go to the bank. You will say that I need 100 rupees. The bank will give you 100 rupees, but at some interest rate. The bank says that, okay, take your 100 rupees, but the interest I am applying is 10%. So in return, you will have to give them 110 rupees. So this is what we call as interest rate from commercial bank. Okay, so that is the interest rate from commercial bank. So if they already have, if repo rate is high, that means they will not get much money from RBI, because if repo rate is high, they will have to pay more interest, so they will not take much money from RBI. So now the commercial bank will have less money. That means commercial bank money will be less. I think I can teach economics as well. Yeah. So commercial bank money will be less. Now commercial bank are having less money. So they will give less loan to the people, right? So what will happen if repo rate is increased? Commercial bank will have less money. It will increase the cost of borrowing. Are you getting my point? It will. What do you mean by borrow and lending? Let's assume I am giving you 100 rupees. That means I am lending you 100 rupees. I am giving you 100 rupees. That means I am lending you 100 rupees. And you are borrowing 100 rupees from me. Are you getting my point? What do you mean by lending and borrow? If I am giving you 100 rupees, I will say I am lending you 100 rupees. That means I am giving you 100 rupees. And from your side, you are taking 100 rupees from me. So that means you are borrowing 100 rupees from me. Now I am saying that I will give you 100 rupees, but the interest rate is 10. I am giving you 100 rupees, but the interest rate is 10%. That means my cost of borrowing is 10 rupees. If you are borrowing from me, the cost of borrowing from me is 10 rupees. there is some other guys who will give you 100 rupees at an interest rate of 5%. So the cost of borrowing from that guy is 5 rupees. Did you understand this point? The cost of borrowing from me is 10 rupees because I am giving you money at 10% interest rate. Now cost of borrowing from that guy is what? 5%. So he is giving you money at lesser rate. Got my point? So now repo rate is increased, commercial bank is having less money, so they will give you money at a higher rate. Give loan at high rates. That means cost of borrowing will be increased. Cost of borrowing will be increased and lending will be decreased. That means, look, repo rate is high, that means commercial bank are having less money. If they are having less money, they will give less loan. That means they are lending less money. If I am having 10 rupees only, how much rupees I will lend? I will lend very less rupees. I will lend only 2 rupees. So lending is reduced. If I am having 1000 rupees, then I can surely lend 100 rupees. So if I had more money, I would lend more. If I am having less money, I would lend less. So if repo rate is increased, commercial bank will have less money. So lending will be less. They will be giving less money. And if I am lending, I will lend at higher rate. Right? I am already having 10 rupees and I am already giving you 2 rupees. So I am left with only 8 rupees now. So if I am lending, I will lend at higher rate. I will say that I will take 50% interest rate. So if I am lending you 2 rupees, you give me back 3 rupees at least. Because I am already having less money. If I am already having less money, to earn more money, I will give you the lend, or I will give you the money at a higher rate. So cost of borrowing from me will be increased and lending will be decreased. So increase in repo rate will decrease cost of borrowing, wrong. Will decrease cost of borrowing, wrong. So these two statements are wrong. Now think about if decrease in repo rate. If there is a decrease in repo rate. So if there is a decrease in repo rate, if repo rate is decreased, that means now commercial bank will have more monies. More money. Commercial bank money will be more. Why it will be more? If repo rate has been decreased, the commercial bank will have more money. Why it will be more money? Because now they can lend, or they can borrow more money from RBI. They can borrow more money from RBI because repo rate is less. They can take more money at less interest rate. The interest rate is less, so they can take more money from RBI. So now the commercial bank will have more money. So they will give loan at, now they are already having more money, so they don't want to earn more. So they will give loan, they will give loan at lower interest rate. That means cost of borrowing is reduced. Cost of borrowing is reduced. And since they will be giving more money, that means lending, amount of lending, I should better write, amount of lending is increased. Amount of lending is increased. Repo rate has decreased. That means commercial bank will have more money now. They will give more loan. That means amount of lending is increased and cost of borrowing is decreased. Right? So decrease in repo rate will decrease cost of borrowing and increase lending by commercial bank. So decrease in repo rate will decrease cost of borrowing and increase lending by commercial bank. Did you get this question? Although you did not need to have knowledge of economics. Okay, even I don't have much knowledge of economics, but if you use your aptitude, you will be able to answer these kind of questions. What do you mean by increase of repo rate? What do you mean by decrease of repo rate? So these kind of questions can be answered with the basic aptitude. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. PQRST, UV, W are seated around a circular table. So let's make a circular table. P Q R S T U V W. P 8 people are there. 8 people are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have to start giving random. We have to start placing them randomly. So let's start with first one. S is seated opposite to W. So let's assume S is seated here. Let's assume W is seated here. So S will be seated here. Or I can say, I will start like this. If S is seated here, W will be seated here. Both are opposite. U is seated at the second place from right of R. Second place from right of R. If let's assume R is seated here, what will be the second place from right of R? That will be this. Right of R. Let's assume yourself sitting there. So what will be right of you? This side. Assume yourself there. So right of R, that will be you. This will be. T is seated at the third place to the left of R. T is seated at the third place to the left of R. Left, this side, 1, 2, 3. This will be the third place to the left of R. So T is seated here. V is a neighbor of S. V is a neighbor of S. Neighbor of S is U and this will be V. So this is one of the case. There can be other cases as well. This is one of the case. What if R was here? Then it can come here. So this is one of the case. Now which of the following must be true? Let's check that. P is the neighbor of R. In this case, P. Okay, now two are left. P and Q. Two are left. Two guys are left. P and Q. Two guys P and Q are left. I can place P here as well, or Q here as well, or I can place Q here as well, P here as well. So tell me, P is the neighbor of R. Is it necessary? No. Q can be neighbor of R. So it's not necessary. So if it is not necessary, then it will be cancelled. Q is a neighbor of R. Is it necessary that Q will be neighbor of R? No. I can place P as well. So this is also not necessary. P is not seated opposite to Q. Now they are not seated opposite, that's for sure. They are seated like this. They are not seated opposite. Opposite means T is opposite to Q or P. U is opposite to Q or P. V is opposite to R. S is opposite to W. The maximum distance. This will be the maximum distance, no? So that means opposite. So now this is not the maximum distance. The right opposite is this. The right opposite of this side is this. So they are not sitting opposite to each other. So this is one of the case. And R is the left neighbor of S. It's not necessary that R is the left neighbor of S. R is not neighbor. R is somewhere here, down. So it is far away from S. So it is not left neighbor of S. Left neighbor of S is UV. So these are wrong. So only feasible option is C. So that's how you need to solve it. Let's see this question. Very, very good question it is. So the distance between Delhi and Agra is 233 kilometer. This is Delhi, and then there is Agra. Distance between Delhi and Agra is 233 kilometer. That is 233 kilometer. A car P started traveling from Delhi to Agra, and another car Q started from Agra to Delhi along the same road 1 hour after the car P started. So P is somewhere here. So let's assume P started with the speed of x. P started with the speed of x. So this x kilometer per hour, P started with the speed of x kilometer per hour. Now this Q will start with the speed of something that we will get to know. So P started with the speed of x kilometer per hour. Now Q started after 1 hour of P. Now P has already walked for x kilometer distance. In 1 hour, P will cover x kilometer distance. And this will be 233 minus x. So P started with the speed of x kilometer per hour and Q started 1 hour later. So P has already covered x distance, because in 1 hour it will cover x kilometer distance. So P has already covered x kilometer distance. Now two cars crossed each other after 75 minutes. What do you mean by 75 minutes? 75 minutes means 5 by 4 hours. 60 minutes means 1 hour. 1 minute means 1 by 60. 75 minutes mean 1 by 60 into 75. So it will be 5 by 4. 15 by 15 it will be cancelled. 15 5s are 75, 15 4s are 60. So 5 by 4 hours. So 75 minute means 5 by 4 hours. So they crossed each other after 5 by 4 hours. So the distance between P and Q, here P will be there. After 1 hour P will be here. And P is going at x kilometer per hour. And Q is going with what speed? Here it will be written that how many kilometers this is they are asking. The speed of car P was 10 kilometer more than the speed of car Q. So if speed of car P is x kilometer, the speed of car Q will be x minus 10 kilometer per hour. 10 kilometer less than the speed of P. So if P was traveling with 20, he was traveling with 10, right? Now this is coming with x kilometer per hour, this is coming with x minus 10 kilometer per hour. Now the question is how many kilometers the car Q had to travel when the cars crossed each other. The car crossed each other in 75 minutes. The car crossed each other in 75 minutes. So let's assume Q is not walking. If Q is not walking, that means P is walking with which speed? If Q is not walking, then P is walking with relative speed. What is the relative speed? Relative speed will be 2x minus 10 kilometer per hour. Let's assume Q is not working. If Q is not working, that means P will be working with 2x minus 10 kilometer per hour in this direction. That means in 75 minutes, in 5 by 4 hours, going with this speed, P has to cover this much of distance. Did you get this point? Going with the speed of 2x minus 10 kilometer per hour, in 5 by 4 hours, P has to cover 233 minus x kilometer distance. Did you understand this point? Let's take an example. There is a distance of 5 meter in between A and B. A is working with 2 kilometer per hour. Sorry, 2 meter per second, and B is working with 3 meter per second. Tell me, after how many seconds the distance between them will be 0? In 1 second, he will come 2 meter. In 3 seconds, he will come 3 meter. So after 1 second, the distance between them will be 0. From here, he came 2 kilometer, and from here, he came 3 kilometer. Total distance is 5. So distance between them will be 0 after 1 second. Or how you can solve it? He is going with 2 kilometer. He is going with 3 kilometer. Assume B is not moving. Assume B is not moving. That means A is moving with 5 meter per second. If B is not moving, B is stable there. That means this 3 kilometer will be given to A. He is moving with 5 meter per second. So in 1 second, he can cover 5 meter. So after 1 second, they will meet. That means in 1 second, he will be covering all the distance between A and B. So this is what is happening. P is going with x kilometer per hour. Q is going with x minus 10 kilometer per hour. I am assuming Q is stable. That means my P is moving with 2x minus 10 kilometer per hour, and they have to cover the distance of 233 minus x kilometer. In how much time? 5 by 4 hour. So what is the speed? Speed is 2x minus 10. What is the time? Speed into time is equals to distance. Speed into time is equals to distance. Kilometer per hour into hour is equals to distance. So from here you need to calculate x value. What will be the x value? Let's calculate that. So x value we get is 70.14 kilometer per hour. That means that was the speed of P. And what was the speed of Q? Speed of Q was 60.14 kilometer per hour. Let's move on to the next page. Okay, so basically P was moving here with the speed of 70.14 kilometer per hour, and Q was moving here with the speed of 60.14 kilometer per hour. The distance between them was 233 minus x. 233 minus x. What was the value of x? That is 70.14. So 233 minus 70.14, that would be 128.86. 162.86, sorry, 162.86 kilometer. Now they are saying that in 5 by 4 hours they meet each other. So they are asking how many kilometers the car Q had to travel when the cars crossed each other. So how many kilometer car Q traveled in 5 by 4 hours. So distance traveled by car Q in 5 by 4 hours, that would be 60.1 by 4 into 5 by 4. 60.1 by 4 into 5 by 4, that was 75.17 or 75 point, nearly 75.2 kilometer. So the car Q traveled 75.2 kilometer, and what was the distance traveled by P? Car P, they are going with 70.14 into 5 by 4. 70.14 into 5 by 4. Nearly they travel 87.7 or 87.6, I can say. 6 and 2, 87.66 kilometer nearly. So this car P traveled 87.66 kilometer and Q traveled 75.2 kilometer. So this distance here, this distance, and here this distance Q traveled. But what is the total distance traveled by car P? This distance plus this distance x, because P started 1 hour before Q. P started 1 hour before Q. So total distance traveled by P would be x plus 87.66. The distance traveled by car P, this plus x. What is x? That is 70.14. So 70.14 kilometer plus x kilometer. So add them up, plus 70.14. So nearly 158 kilometer. 157.8. Yeah, nearly 157.8 kilometer. The total distance between Delhi and Agra was 233 kilometer. P traveled 157.8 kilometer and Q traveled 75.2 kilometer. That's it. So answer of this question was B only, but I gave you the complete concept. I hope you understood the complete concept here. The complete concept was Delhi-Agra distance. P started early, that P traveled this much of distance. Q started late and with lesser speed. Q started late and with lesser speed. So P was moving with this, Q was moving with x minus 10. So the total speed I can give you to P, and he have to cover 233 minus x distance. And the time given was 5 by 4 hour. So 2x minus 10. So the speed of P came out to be 70.14 kilometer per hour, and Q came out to be 60.14 kilometer per hour. So P and Q was here when they started 70.14, 60.14. The distance between them was 233 minus x. That means the distance was 162.86. So Q traveled 60.14 into 5 by 4. That means 75.2 kilometer, and P traveled 70.14 into 5 by 4 plus the distance it traveled 1 hour before. So the distance it traveled was x kilometer. So 70.14. So total distance traveled by car P was 157.8 kilometer and car Q was 75.2 kilometer. So that's the complete solution. I hope you understood it correctly. Let's move on to next question. A matrix M is given. M is Mij, Ij is 1, 2, 3, 4. That means matrix will be 4 cross 4. So matrix is 4 cross 4. Matrix will be 4 cross 4. The diagonal elements are all 0 and Mij is equals to minus Mji. The minimum number of the minimum number of elements required to fully specify the matrix. This is our matrix. Now diagonal elements are all 0. The diagonal elements are all 0. Now Mij is equals to minus Mji. That means M12 will be equals to minus of M21. M13 will be equals to minus of M31. M14 will be equals to minus of M41. M21 will be equals to minus of M12. M22 will be equals to the same only. M23 will be equals to minus of M32. Now M32 is there. M24 will be equals to minus of M42. 32 is already there. 24 is already. M34 will be equals to minus of M43. That's it, I guess. Or 34 will be there. Let's check. Okay. M12, let's assume this is 1. So this will be minus 1. If this is 2, this will be minus 2. If this is 3, this will be minus 3. If this number is 4, this will be minus 4. If this number is 5, this will be minus 5. If this number is 6, this number will be minus 6. So 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. 2, 1. Okay, sorry. This 2, 1 I wrote twice, which is already there. So 2, 1 I wrote twice, which shouldn't have been written. So yeah, that would be the case. So how much did you require? 6 letters. No, not letters, 6 numbers or element we can say. You can put A, B, C, D as well here. So 6 element you required. These 6 element you required. With the help of these 3, you can write these 3 by your own. If I know what is my M21 or M12, what is my M12? I already know what is my M21. So with the help of these, you can write these as well. So answer is B, 6. Well and good. Let's move on to the next problem. I will put the charger. Yeah, so the profit share of two companies P and Q are shown in the figure. If two companies have invested fixed and equal amount every year, then the ratio of total revenue of company P to the total revenue of Q, what will be? So investment, although this already has been there, investment, profit and revenue, these terms I have already used, right? Revenue. So let's understand the meaning again. Let's assume I invest 100 rupees, my profit is 10%, my revenue will be 110. That's it. Now they are saying that they invested a fixed and equal amount every year. So we can assume in 2013 both companies invested 100 rupees, 100 rupees, 100 rupees, 100 rupees, 100 rupees, 100 rupees. Now first we will talk about company P. So what was happening to company P? So in the year 2013, company P made a profit of 10%. That means they earned 110 rupees. In the year 2014, they made a profit of 20%. That means they earn 120 rupees. In the year 2015, they made a profit of 40%. That means they earn 140 rupees. The investment is same every year. This is written. They invested a fixed and equal amount every year. In 2016, they invested 100 rupees, but they earn 40%. That means 140 rupees they earn. In the year 2017, they invested 100 rupees, but earn 50%. That means 150 rupees they earn. Not earn profit. Profit was 50%. They invested 100 rupees and profit is 40%. That means they earn 140 rupees. You have to add them up. So this was the total revenue of company P. So 600 plus 4 4 8 10 4 4 8 10 10 300 rupees. Total revenue of them was 300 rupees. We have to tell the ratio of revenue only. Yeah. Now let's talk about company Q. So they invested 100 rupees. Their profit was 20%. 120 rupees was their earning. They investment 100 rupees. Profit 30%. That means 130 rupees is the earning. Investment 100 rupees. Profit 30%. 130 rupees is the earning. Investment 100 rupees. Profit 50%. 150 rupees is the earning. 160 rupees is the earning. And 160 rupees is the earning. If we solve this, we get 6 6 12 6 3 18 6 6 24 25 250. So 350. Now they are asking the total ratio of total revenue of company P to company Q. P to Q. So this is the total revenue of company P. and this is the total revenue of company Q. So you can wait a minute. Sorry. What I am doing here? So 100 plus 100 plus 100, 300, 600, 600 and 200 rupees was revenue. So 200 was profit, right? 5, 4, 4, 8, 10, 110. Yeah, 200 was the profit and 6 here were there. So 800 was their revenue, and in their case 850 was the revenue. This was the case. Sorry. We just need to add them up. Yeah, so the ratio will be 800 ratio 850. So by the table of 0 and 0 will be cancelled. By the table of 5 I can cut it. 5 1 5, 5 30, 5 1 5, 5 7 35. So 16 ratio 17. Option B is my answer. That's it. So B is the correct answer. Okay, this is the solution of this set. So 10 question we answered. This was a very good set actually. This was also easy question. This was a good question. This was easy question, I would say. This was a very good question. So this was a good set, but in these kind of set you can score maximum marks. Only like there was no English question which was tough. English question were very easy, and after that everything was aptitude only. So in these kind of set, if you have good aptitude knowledge, if you have watched if you have solved previous year questions, if you have studied nicely, you can get 15 out of 15 in these kind of set, right? Let's solve this set. Okay, agree to and agree with. Agree to and agree with. Agree with will come for a person, and agree to comes for a object or other than person, I would say. Other than person, right? Like I agree to your statement. I agree to your statement. Not I agree with your statement. I agree to your statement. I agree with you. I agree with Ram. I am agreeing to Ram's statement. I am agreeing to the statement of Ram. So you are agreeing to a statement which is not a person. If you are agreeing with the person, you will use with. I am agreeing with Ram, and I am agreeing to a statement. Okay. So while I agree to his proposal, this time I do not agree with him. A option. The second one, the recent measures to improve the output. You are doing something to improve the output would blank the level of production to our satisfaction. It would increase the level of production. The recent measures to improve the output is being improved. So the satisfaction level will be increased. So the recent measures to improve the output would increase the level of production to our satisfaction. So the level of production will be increased if output is improved. Okay. Now white whitening, light lightning. Ing form, like white whitening. This is used as an adverb. White whitening, light lightning. Like I am whitening up my t-shirt. I am whitening up my t-shirt. And I am lightening up this room. I am lightening up this room. Okay, these are the examples. White whitening, light lightning. Okay, so question 4. In one of the greatest inning ever seen in 142 years of test history, Ben Stokes upped the tempo in a 5.5 hour long stay of 219 balls, including 11 fours and 8 sixes, that saw him finish on 135 not out as England square the 5-match series. Okay, so based on the connotation in the given passage, which of the following meanings does not match? Okay, Ben Stokes upped the tempo. So upped means increased, and tempo enthusiasm. So just replace this word and see if it suits or not. Ben Stokes increased the enthusiasm in 5.5 hour long stay. Yeah, both are correct. Upped, increased, tempo, enthusiasm. in a 5.5 hour long stay of 219 balls, including 11 fours and 8 sixes, that saw him, that resulted in, that is also, that saw him finish, that means he finished on 135 not out. So 11 fours and 8 sixes that resulted in 135 not out. He scored 11 fours and 8 sixes that resulted in 135 not out, as England squared the 5-match series. So only option left is this one. All three are correct. So this one is the final answer, which does not match. And here squared means certainly not lost. Okay, squared the 5-match series, that means they equalized it by 2-2. Squared the 5-match series, 2-2 equal. So 2 match won by Australia, although they are talking about Australia versus England only, so I know the match which they are talking about. So 2 was won by the other team and 2 was won by the England. So they squared the series 2-2. Certainly the meaning will not be lost. Okay. So there are 5 levels PQRST in a linear supply chain before a product reaches the customer, shown in the figure. From P2 it will go to Q, then to R, to S, then to T, and then to customer. At each level, the price of the product is increased by 25%. The product is produced at level P at cost 120 rupees. Here it is of 120 rupees. And each level 25% will be increased. So what will be the price paid by the customer? So here it is of 120 rupees. Here it will be of 25% is increased. So 120 into 1.5. Here it will be of 120 into 1.25, 25% of this value. That means you will multiply this again with 1.25. And again here you will multiply this with 1.25. And again here you will multiply this with 1.25. And again here you will multiply this with 1.25. This will be the price paid by customer. This is like a compound interest. So 1.25 to the power 5 into 120. So the answer you will get is 366.21 rupees. Okay, 125, 120 rupees, then 120 into 1.25, then again 1.25, again 1.25, again 1.25, and again 1.25. Compound interest problem is this. Now this question, this is also a very good question. Climate change and resilience deal with two aspects: reduction of sources of non-renewable energy resources and reducing vulnerability of climate change aspect. The term mitigation and adaptation are used to refer to these aspects respectively. So mitigation refers to reduction of sources of non-renewable energy resources and adoption renewable energy resources, and adoption refers to reducing vulnerability of climate change aspect. That means what is adoption? That climate change is happening, but you have adapted that. Let's assume I go to a new place and I can't adapt the environment. That environment is not suiting me. So what I will say? I went to Kota, but I couldn't adapt the environment there. I went to Calcutta, but I couldn't adapt the environment there. So you are going to a new place, but you can't adapt that environment. So, but now the term adaptation here means that you are able to adapt the process of climate change. The climate change is happening, still you are able to adapt that. That means you are reducing your vulnerability to climate change. You are reducing, reducing, you are reducing your vulnerability. That means you are not that much affected by the climate change. Climate change is happening, but still you are not that much affected. So this is what we mean adaptation, right? And mitigation, that means reduction of sources of non-renewable energy resources. So when we go to the option, they will say that mitigation here means that you are reducing the use of sources of non-renewable energy resources. You are reducing the use of the sources of non-renewable energy resources. So this is what mitigation mean as per the answer. But here if you read the line, reduction of sources of non-renewable energy resources. So what I thought when I was reading this passage first time, that I thought that mitigation means that if we use these energy sources a lot of times, if we use these energy non-renewable energy sources a lot of times, there will be reduction of these sources. Are you getting my point? What did I thought when I read it for the first time? Reduction of sources of non-renewable energy resources. That means if we use these energy resources too much, the sources of these resources will be reduced. But here they are saying that mitigation means that you are reducing the use of these sources. If you are not using these non-renewable energy resources, then there will be no reduction of these sources. So this is what they mean actually. But I was able to eliminate all three options. Yeah, option A, B, and D. So the best possible option was for me was C. So what is the following assertion is the best supported by the above information? Let's check that. So first one, mitigation deals with the consequences of climate change. No, they are not dealing with the consequence of climate change. They are dealing with the region of climate change, cause of climate change. And while adaptation is dealing with the consequences of climate change. That adaptation is something that the climate change is there. I can't help it. Climate change is there. Still, I will make myself so vulnerable that I would not be affected by the climate change. I would make myself such that I would not be affected by climate change. So this is what adaptation means. So adaptation is dealing with the consequences of climate change. So adaptation is dealing with the consequences of climate change, while mitigation deals with the cause of climate change. Here, mitigation is dealing with the cause of climate change. What is the cause of climate change? Exceeds use of non-renewable energy resources. And what are non-renewable energy resources? Like fossil fuels. Here the fossil fuels are non-renewable energy resources. Indhan. In Hindi we call that indhan. Okay. Yeah. So let's check the option D for now. So option B and A and B are wrong. Option D, adaptation deals with the actions taken to combat greenhouse gas emission. No, no, no. We don't take any action in case of adaptation. We are not taking any action to reduce the climate change. We are not taking any action to reduce the climate change, but we are making ourselves such that we are able to adapt the climate change. So we are not taking any action. Adaptation doesn't mean you are taking any action to reduce the climate change. This action will reduce the climate change to combat greenhouse emission. If you are able to combat greenhouse gas emission, the climate change will be reduced. But the adaptation doesn't refer to that. Adaptation just refers that I am making myself such that I will be able to adapt the climate change. So this option is also cancelled. The only feasible option I can see is C. Mitigation deals with the action taken to reduce the use of fossil fuels. So what is fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are fossil fuels. Sorry, not fossil. Fossil fuels are non-renewable energy sources. Fossil fuels are non-renewable energy sources. So mitigation deals with the action taken to reduce the use of fossil fuels. But here I don't see the term use. They should have used the term use. So when I read it for the first time, I thought that mitigation means that if we are using these non-renewable energy resources too much, then they will be reduced. But what they actually mean that we should reduce the use of these non-renewable energy resources. So one of the example of non-renewable energy resources are fossil fuels. So if we are reducing the use of fossil fuels, then we will be able to reduce the climate change. So the only feasible option I can see here is option C. But that's not perfectly correct as per me. Okay, so I hope you have understood the point what I wanted to deliver here. Let's move on to the next problem. But we are able to directly eliminate three options, so the best possible option is C only. Now these kind of questions, how will you attempt these kind of question in the exam? So yeah, I did not check the solution. Still, I was able to do this during the when I was solving it for the first time. So how did I actually do it? I just wrote down their numbers. So n will come at, as far as I remember, it will come at 14. We all know about x. It will come at 24. H will come at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H 8. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And T will come as G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. 15, 20. Okay. So what will come here? These are the option given. We will write it. 4, 5, 23, 25. Okay. Now I forgot how did I attempt it. Yeah. Okay. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 5 plus 9 is 14. 5 plus 9 is 14. What about these number? 20 and 8. 20 plus 8 by 2. Average of 20 and 8 is 14. So T plus H by 2 is N. T plus H by 2 is N. Let's assume this is something alpha. So alpha plus X by 2 should also be N. So 20 plus 8 by 2 is 14. So alpha plus 24 by 2 should be 14. Alpha plus 24 by 2 should be 14. So alpha should be 4. So the only feasible option is D. Just write down all the possible scenario that you can see. The first thing that I saw was 9 plus 5, 14. Okay, I got to know this is met. 9 plus 5 plus 9, 14. Now I have to check horizontal. Vertically it is matched. 9 plus 4, 14. And now I need to check horizontal. So I have 20, 14 and 8. What relation I can find? I have 20, 14 and 8. What relation I can find? 20 plus 8 by 2, 14. This relation I could find. So similarly I can do the same thing. Alpha plus 24 by 2 is equals to 14. So what should be the perfect answer? 4, and 4 is matching with D. That's it. This is how I solved it and my answer got matched. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. This is an easy problem only. So it was estimated that 50 men can complete a strip in newly constructed highway area connecting cities P and Q in 10 days. So 52 guys can do a work in 10 days. 52 men can do a work in 10 days. Basically the work requires 52 men working for 10 days. That means 52 man day. They require 52 man day. They require 52 man day. If one guy is working, if one man is working, how much days he will take? 52 days. The work requires 52 man day and you have only, they require 52 man day and you have only one man. You have only one man. So how many days it will take? Man to man got cancelled. 52 days. If you had two men, what will be the answer? It would take half of it, 260 days. If you had 10 men, what would be the answer? It would take 52 days. That's it. So for one man, it will take 520 days. Now there are, due to emergency, 15 men were sent to another project. Sorry, 15. What I am doing, man? Due to emergency, 12 men were sent to another project. 12 men were sent to another project. So how many men are left? How many men are left? 40 men are left, right? 12 have gone, 40 men are left. So how many number of days more than the original estimate will be required to complete the strip? So one man will take 520 days. Now you have 40 men. 40 men will take how much days? 520 by 40 days, right? So they will take 13 days. So estimated was 10 days. So they are writing how many number of days more than the original estimate. Original estimate was 10. So how many more than original estimate? So 3 days more than the original estimate. Did you understand it? 15 men can complete a work in 10 days. That means one man will complete the work in 52 days. So your work required 52 man day. Your work required 52 man day. You have 40 people. You have 40 people. So 40 men can complete the work in 13 days. 40 men can complete the work in 13 days. 52 could complete that work in 10 days. So how many more number of days you require? That is 3 days. That's it. That's the final answer. Let's solve this question. An engineer measures three quantities by this. The product of xy is linearly related to z. Which of them is false? Which of the following statement is false? So xy is linearly related to z. So xy is equals to kz, right? This is the equation. Y equals to mx plus c. Y equals to, what is y here? X into y. What is the slope? You don't know. I assumed the slope to be k. What is x? That is z. Xy equals to kz. That is the equation. Now they are, which of them is false? Now they are saying that for a fixed z, z is fixed. That means z is constant. If z is constant, x is proportional to y. No, x is inversely proportional to y. If z is fixed, what will be x? X will be kz by y. X will be kz by y. So x is inversely proportional to y. So the option A is false. This is false. So this will be our answer. We can check other option as well. What is the other option? For a fixed y, x is proportional to z. Y is fixed. Y is fixed. So x is proportional to z. Yeah, x is proportional to z. In the second option, for a fixed x, z is proportional to y. Yeah, y is proportional to z or z is proportional to y. X is fixed, so y is proportional to z. X by y, z is constant. Yeah, x by y is equals to k. They are constant. Yes. So all three are correct. Only the first one is false. So option A is correct. Let's move on to the last problem. Two pie charts given below shows the data of total students and only girl registered in different stream of university. So this one shows the students enrolled in different stream of university. Total students. If the total number of students registered in university is 5,000, so these are 5,000. And total number of girls registered is 1,500. Then the ratio of boys enrolled in arts to the ratio of girls enrolled in management. Arts versus management. Okay. So tell me, how many girls enrolled in management? There are total 1,500 girls. 15% of 1,500 is in management. So what is the 15% of 1,500? That will be 225. So total girls in management is 225. Now you need to find total number of boys in arts. So out of these 5,000 students, 20% are there in arts. That means there are total 1,000 students in arts. Total 1,000 students. Out of them, how many are girls? 30% of 1,500. 30% of 1,500. That means 450 are girls. So out of 1,000 students, 450 are girls in arts. So how many boys are there? 550 boys are there. So in arts, we are having 550 boys and 450 girls. Okay, and in management, we are having 225 girls. So you have to find the ratio between the boys enrolled in arts is 550. Ratio with girls enrolled in management, the girls enrolled in management is 225. Right? So you can cancel it with 25, I guess. Yeah. So 25 to the 50, 25 to the 50, 22 ratio, and 25 9 are 225. 22 ratio 9. This is the answer. Easy question. These kind of aptitude question should be solved. Total number of students are given, total number of girls are there. 5,000, 1,500. 20% in arts, so 1,000 students are there in arts. So and girls are there, 1,500, 30%, 550%, 550 girls are there. So out of 550 girls, in 1,000 students, 550 are girls, so 550 would be 450 are girls, so 550 would be boys. And how many girls are there in management? In management, 15% are girls. So 1,500 into 15%. So 225 girls are there. So in management, we are having 225 girls, and in different stream of university, and in arts, we are having 550 boys. So 550 ratio to 25, 22 ratio 9. That's it. That's the complete answer. So we have solved 3 sets now. Now we will move to another set. Okay. So let's solve this set now. So first question, he is known for his unscrupulous ways. He always sheds dash tears to deceive people. Unscrupulous means non-ideal, we can say, or fake. He is known for his fake ways. He always sheds dash tears. So there is a phrase, you must have heard that phrase, crocodile tears, right? Not crocodile's tear, crocodile tear. So that would be the answer. This is just a common phrase that everyone must have heard, crocodile tears. That means fake tears. Crocodile tears means fake tears. So he always sheds fake tears to deceive people. Deceive means धोखा देना. धोखा. In English, what we will say? Deceive, deceiving someone. Right? Yeah. So second question, Jofra Archer, the England fast bowler, is dash than accurate. So than word, that means we are comparing. So here the second degree would come. So one can be more faster and this one can be less faster. If it was less faster, then this option would have been also a chance, but only chance here is faster. He is faster than accurate, and if he was less faster, then we would have put less faster, not less fast. He is less faster than accurate. He is faster than accurate or less faster than accurate. More fast, not a phrase. Fast, faster, fastest. Right? More faster, this is also wrong. And if I wanted to make this one right, then I would have written less faster than accurate. Less faster than accurate. Right? Now third one. Build, building, grow. What should be the here? What should be here? Okay. So building is a word which is made from build word. Building is a word which is made from the word build. It's not the ing form of build. Right? Here build is not used as a verb. It is not a verb. That build is a verb and ing form is building. Is it so? No. Build is not a verb. And even if it is, let's assume it's a verb. So build, building. So there should be ing form. So for grow, the option should be growing. Is there any option there? No. That's why it is not used as a verb here. The build is not a verb here. So build is a word. By using that word, we made another word, that is building. Buildings, that we say there are this building, this big building is there. So from using a word build, we made a word building. Now talking about grow, grown is a form of grow. It's not a word, it's a form of grow. Right? Grow, grew, grown. Grow, grew, grown. So now this is not, build is not used as a verb, so this is also not used as a verb. So grown or grew cannot be the answer. Grown cannot be the answer, grew cannot be the answer, and growed is not even a word. So this is a word, growth. Growth is another word which is made from grow. Did you get my point? Building is a word which is made from build. So growth is another word which is made from word grow. So here build and grow both are not used as a verb, although they both can be used as a verb in a sentence like I am building this, I am building a pyramid. The sentence is I am building a pyramid. Now here build is used as a verb. Or he is growing very fastly. He is growing very fastly. That means he is growing fastly. So here grow is word that is used as a verb. So in those statements, grow and build were used as a verb, but here it is not used as a verb, but it is a simple word. By using that word, we made another word. So from build we made building, from grow we can make growth. So that's the logic here. Okay, so none of the form will be used. Neither grown, neither grew. Growed is not even a word, so only possible option is growth. Right? Let's move on to the next problem. I don't think you know the case well enough to have opinions. Having said that, I agree with your other point. So what does the phrase having said that mean in the given text? As opposed to what I said, despite what I said, in addition to what I said, contrary to what I said. Have you heard this term having said that? Who used this term the most? If you hear English commentary, Wasim Akram used this line a lot of times. Having said that, I have heard it from Wasim Akram. So he said that, he said it many times, having said that. Yeah. So what do you mean by having said that? It means that the statement that I have said previously, despite of that I agree to, despite of that I am saying the next statement. So despite what I said, look, I don't agree. Look, I don't think you know about the case very well. I don't think you know about the case very well. Despite of that, I agree to your other point. So this is what we mean. Having said that means despite of what I said, right? Now this fifth question, this is actually a very good question. Now your function is defined as this function y, greatest integer function, we call that greatest integer. So this is defined as integer less than or equal to x. Let's just assume if 0.5 is written. So integer equal to this or less than this. What is the integer equal to this? No integer is there which is equal to 0.5. So which is the just previous integer from this? 0. 1.5 will be written as 1, because what is the previous integer to this? 1. 2 will be written as 2 only, because 2 itself is an integer. Okay. Why I am making this bracket? 2 will be written as 2 only, because 2 itself is an integer. 3.5 will be written as 4. Minus 1.2 will be written as what? Tell me. The previous integer, minus 2. So in this way the graph goes. Okay, let's make the graph now. We have to find the area for x 1 to 4. For x 1 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our function is y equals to greatest integer function x. If x value is varying from 0 to 1, what will be the value of y? Tell me. X value is varying from 0 to 1. X value is 0, it will be 0. X value is 0.5, it will still be 0. X value is 0.7, it will still be 0. X value is 0.999, it will still be 0. So till that point it will remain 0 only. So till that point it will remain 0 only. But at 1 it will become 1. At 1 it will become 1. After that what will happen? From 1 to 2. From 1 to 2 we are going. Till 1.999 it will be 1 only. Just lesser value. So it will become 1 only. But at 2 it will be 2. I made this hole there. This is a hole there. I made this hole because at 2 we are not having one value. This is 1. So at 2 we are not having one value. At 2 we are having two value. And this will remain there till 3. Because till 2.99999 we will be having 2 only. But at 3 we will be having 3. And till 4 we will have 3 only. Because 3.9999 will also give you 3. So this is how the graph will go. We have to find the area under the curve. So this is the curve, you have to find the area. This, then this, and then this much of area you need to find. So tell me what will be the area. What is this value? This value is 3, this value is 2, this value is 1. So area would be 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. That's it. Area will be 6. Area, y-axis into x-axis. Here the gap is 1, y-axis value is 3. So here the area is 3. Y value is 2, gap is 1, area is 2. Y value is 1, gap is 1, area is 1. So total area is 6. Let's move on to the next problem. Crowdfunding deals with mobilization of funds for a project from a larger number of people who would be willing to invest smaller amounts through web-based platform in the project. Okay, so there is this crowdfunding word introduced. What is crowdfunding? That deals with mobilization of funds for project from a larger number of people, who would be willing to invest smaller amounts through web-based platform in the project. So they are asking, based on the above graph, which of the following is correct about crowdfunding. So you have to tell what do you mean by crowdfunding. So first statement is Fund raised through unwilling contribution? No, not unwilling. Because here it was who would be willing to invest. Willing to invest. So unwilling, no. Fund raised through large contribution on web-based platform. So we will hold on here. Large contribution. Here it is saying that large number of people. So we will hold on to this statement now. Fund raised through coerced contribution on web-based platform. Coerced. I don't know the meaning of this one. Coerced. C-O-E-R. Coerced meaning. So unwilling. Okay. This is also mean unwilling. But still, if you don't know the meaning, then you can simply eradicate it, because here these kind of words are not used, although this means unwilling. Now, what if in the exam I didn't know the meaning? What I would have done? I would have eradicated this statement. I would not think about it. I would try to cut B and D. Then I would think if this can be my answer or not. So now let's see. Fund raised through voluntary contribution on web-based platform. So this line is completely correct. In crowdfunding, what do we do? Those guys who are willing to invest, they will invest, not invest, a large number. Those guys who are willing to give the funds, they will give the fund. That's it. And since it is a web-based platform, there can be larger number of people. So now they are saying that who would be willing to invest smaller amount. Now, in what is the difference between B and D? B is saying that fund raised through large contributions. Here contribution can mean people as well and amount as well. Look, there will be large number of people, but they will be contributing small amount. So the amount will become already larger. But this is what crowdfunding doesn't mean. This is not what crowdfunding means. Crowdfunding means that there will be large number of people, but they will contribute smaller amounts. So there is ambiguity in this statement. They are saying that fund raised through large contribution. Now, if you just read this line, you wouldn't know if they are talking about large number of people or if they are talking about the money that people are giving, that is large. Here it is written that the money that people are giving, that is small. So in this statement, you can't know that, right? In this statement, you are not able to know if they are talking about the money which is larger or the people which is larger. So here the crowd is larger. The money given by them is small. So are you getting my point? That's why there is some ambiguity in this one. So we will eradicate this as well. But in this line, there is no ambiguity. The fund raised through voluntary contribution on web-based platform. They did not talk about crowd. They did not talk about the amount. This is a simple line, fund raised through voluntary contribution on web-based platform. So whenever you answer English question, first put your complete attention. Second, try to cancel the statement. Okay, try to eradicate the statement. Just try to find what can be wrong in this statement. If you solve by this, your answer will be correct. If you just solve that what can be right in this statement, then your answer will be wrong. So what can be inferred from it? What can be inferred from the paragraph? These kind of questions, in these kind of questions, you should always try to eradicate the options. That this cannot be true, why this cannot be true, why this cannot be true. So in the end, you will have the perfect answer. This will be the perfect answer. Okay. Let's see question number 7. And believe me, no one will be teaching you how to solve English problem on YouTube at least, or even in the paid platform. Right? If you have taken a paid course, you will realize that they will certainly teach you these problems, and that too formula based. But we are here dealing without any formula, and here we are actually dealing how we will be attempting it in the examination so that we could score maximum marks. They will say 15 out of 15. They will make you learn 100 of formulas, but that doesn't give the marks in the examination. The paper is set by IIT. What they expect? They don't expect that the student they are taking admission of, that guy should not be having good memory, that much of good memory that he can remember 100 formulas, but he should be sharp enough that he can answer accordingly in the examination. That's why they said these kind of papers where formula is used very rarely, especially in aptitude. So they are just checking your aptitude, how you solve the problem at that certain time. So that's the most important part, and this is what I am teaching you here. That's why I brought this series of solving all the PYQs. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. PQRS are to be uniquely coded using alpha and beta. P is coded as double alpha. This is the most important word, uniquely coded. Q is coded as alpha beta. Then R and S will be coded as what? R and S. One thing we know that it cannot be alpha alpha or it cannot be alpha beta because they are uniquely coded. It also cannot be alpha alpha or alpha beta. So in the option where alpha beta and alpha alpha are written, that will be cancelled. Here alpha beta is written, cancelled. Here alpha alpha is written, cancelled. Here alpha beta is written, cancelled. Only option left is beta alpha and beta beta. So this will be coded as beta alpha, this will be coded as beta beta. Why so? Because they have to be unique. Every PQRS has to be unique. If Q is alpha beta, then Q and R are not unique. Right? If R is alpha beta, then Q and R will not be unique. You have to make them unique. That's why they will be beta alpha and beta beta. So only a correct answer is D. Let's move on to the next problem. Now, if they ask you these kind of problem, how will you solve them in exam? You have to find the sum of n terms in the sequence 8, 88, 888, 888. So basically you need to find 8 plus this thing you need to find. I will tell you the correct method as well, but how we will solve in the exam, we will put the value. The sum of first n value I am putting as 1. The sum of first one term. What will be my answer? Answer will be 8. The sum of first one term in the sequence is first one term. This is the first one term only. What is the sum of 8? Sum of 8 with what? Nothing. So sum of 8 will be simply 8 only. So my answer will be 8 only. Now I need to put the value of n in all the option and check where I will get 8. If I put n equals to 1 here, I will not get 8. Here as well I will not get it. Here I can try getting it. So 80 by 81 into 9 plus 8 by 9. 88 by 9 I am getting here. So this is also not 8. So in the option D I can try now. 80 by 81 into 9 minus 8 by 9. So that will be 72 by 9. So 8 I am getting here. So this is my correct answer. So that's how we can solve. Put n equals to 1. If n equals to 1, that means sum of first one term in the sequence is 8 only. That is 8 only, right? So if I put n equals to 1 in all the option, the only option which will match my answer is this. Now how to solve it correctly, that let's see. So what is the actual method? That is, you have to add these numbers 8 plus 8, 8, 8. Actually in 11th or 10th class, I guess we solve these kind of problems. Solving these kind of problems, there is one certain method. What you do, take 8 common, then it will be 1 plus 11 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 1, 1. Right? It will go on like this. Then what you do? You multiply it by 9. If you multiply these numbers by 9, you have to divide by 9 as well. So dividing by 9 and then multiplying. 9, 99, 999 plus 9999. 8 by 9. 10 minus 1 plus 10 square minus 1, right? Plus 10 cube minus 1 plus 10 to the power 4 minus 1. What will be your nth term? That will be 10 to the power n minus 1. So how many times 1 is being subtracted? 1, 1, 1, n times, right? So it would be 8 by 9, 10 plus 10 square plus 10 cube, dot, 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 dot. Then n times 1 is subtracted, so minus n. So 8 by 9, yeah, this will be 10 plus 10 square plus 10 cube. So this is a GP. What is the summation of a GP? A r to the power n minus 1 upon r minus 1. minus n. So it will be 80 by 81 10 to the power n minus 1 minus 8n by 9. This is your Sn. That's your final answer. So that's how we actually solve it. But in the exam, we will not be doing this thing. In the exam, we will play smartly. We will put the value of n. We will put the value of n equals to 1 we will put. Let's move on to the next problem. This is actually a very good problem. If you have studied transient analysis from me on this channel, you will be able to solve these kind of problems. Transient, okay, in transient I teach this thing. So let's see how will you solve it. Y is equals to x to the power m and y is equals to x to the power 1 by m. We have to make their graph. X value is from 0 to 1, m value is some greater than 1. Okay, m value is some greater than 1. It can be anything. You can assume it to be anything. But x value is from 0 to 1. X value is varying. X value will vary and based on that you will get y value. But m is a constant. You can assume it to be anything. Okay. So we are assuming m to be 2. Let m is equals to 2. Now what do you see in these two graphs? You can check that here the slope is continuously increasing. If my graph is something like this, so here my slope is continuously increasing. Whatever the slope here is, the next slope will be like this, and at this point the slope will be infinity. And if my graph is like this, that means my slope is decreasing. Initially my slope is like this and eventually my slope is 0. Are you getting my point? If your graph is like this, it is going and then parallel to x-axis. That means my slope is decreasing. And if your graph is like this, increasing like this, it is going towards infinity. The slope is going towards infinity. So their slope is increasing. So in transient analysis, what do we see? The slope goes to 0. So here the slope is increasing. So there are two graphs. Now everything is about slope. So just find the value of slope. That's it. Then your answer will be, then you will be good to go. Just putting the charger. Okay, so I'm assuming the m value to be 2. So x square y will be x to the power 1 by 2. Now dy by dx would be 2x. Here my dy by dx would be 1 by 2 x to the power minus 1 by 2. It would be 2x and it would be 1 by 2 root x. It is 2x. Now if x is increasing, that means my dy by dx is increasing. If x is increasing, my slope is increasing. This is the graph, right? If x is increasing, my slope is increasing. That means which graph should be there? If x increases, my slope increases. So x to the power m will be something like this. Here your slope is increasing with respect to x. Got my point? Let's talk about this. And no matter whatever your x is greater than 1 or less than 1 or whatever it is. Are you getting my point? In this graph, you don't need to check what is my x value. If x value is 0, your slope will be 0. If x value is 1 by 2, your slope value will be 1. If x value is 1 by 3, your slope value will be 2 by 3. Are you getting my point? If x is 2, your slope will be 4. Continuously, your slope will increase. At 1 by 3, it's 2 by 3. At 1 by 2, it is 1. At 2, it is 4. So continuously, it is increasing. Simply, dy by dx is proportional to x. So continuously, it is increasing. Even if it goes beyond 1. Let's check here. Now, you might not be able to comment if it is increasing or decreasing, but here we can directly see that dy by dx is inversely proportional to 1 by root x, but not x. Dy by dx is inversely proportional to 1 by root x, but not x. So let's check. X value is from 0 to 1. X value is from 0 to 1. Right? So what will be my slope at 1 by 4? At x equals to 1 by 4. What is my slope at x equals to 1 by 4? that would be 1, right? What will be my slope at x equals to 1 by 2? That would be 1 by root 2. Which is greater? This one is greater. So my slope at x equals to 1 by 4 is greater than slope at x equals to 1 by 2. That means with increasing x, my slope is decreasing. So that would be the graph. With increasing x, your slope is decreasing. So the graph would look something like this. With increasing x, your slope is decreasing. So this would be your graph, x to the power 1 by m. So the graph this like that or this one like this. So what is the option? A option is correct. So that's how you need to check. Here they wanted to see if you are finding it with the help of slope or not. So if this graph is there, that means slope is continuously increasing. And if this graph is there, that means slope is decreasing. That's it. Let's move on to the next problem. This is very simple problem. The bar graph shows the data of students who appeared and passed in an examination for 4 schools PQRS. The average of success rate of these 4 schools is. Appeared and passed. Success rate means how many student passed the examination. So how many appeared? देख लो, कर लो इसको. You can do it. 2,200 I guess. How many appeared? 500 plus 600 plus 700 plus 400. 2,200. These much guys appeared, and how many passed? 280 plus 330 plus 455 plus 240. 1305. What is the percentage? 59.3. That's it. Success rate means pass percentage. So that's the complete set. Now these kind of sets are in which you can score complete marks. I don't think there was something that would get you wrong. This question some people can get wrong between B and D, but if you solve it with full attention, you will get it right. So yeah, this was one of the set where people could target 15 marks. Okay, let's see another set now. So let's solve this set now. Raman is confident of speaking English dash 6 months as he has been practicing regularly for last 3 weeks. So here 4 will come, that we are sure. Raman is confident of speaking English within 6 months. रमन 6 महीने में इंग्लिश बोलने में कॉन्फिडेंट हो गया है क्योंकि वो प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है पिछले 3 वीक से. रमन इज कॉन्फिडेंट ऑफ स्पीकिंग इंग्लिश विद इन 6 months because he has been practicing for last 3 weeks. Within, this is the most suitable word. So within and for. His knowledge of subject was excellent, but his classroom performance was. Now here he is saying that his knowledge was excellent, but that means it will give negative meaning now. But his classroom performance was good? No. Desirable? No. Praiseworthy? No. Extremely poor. I am saying that he is a good fielder, but he dropped a lot of catches. That means he is a good fielder, but he dropped a lot of catches. So first statement, but negative sense will be there. Negative sense will be there in the second statement. He is a good fielder, but he dropped many of the catches. He is a good batsman, but he got out on a duck. Good batsman, but got out on 0. Understood? This question is a very good question. Cook is similar to cook. Cook is similar to cook. So fly will be similar to what? This they are asking. So cook is a verb, right? Cook is a verb. That I am cooking this food. I am cooking Maggie. So cook is a word. Cook is a verb, right? Now, what do you call the guy who cooks? The one who cooks. What do you call that guy? The one who cooks. What do you call that guy? Cook only. Right? He is a cook. He is my cook. Ramesh is my cook. Right? The one who cooks is known as cook only. And cook is a verb as well, and this is a this is someone who cooks. Fly is a verb. This is a verb, this will be a noun. Fly is a verb. The one who flies is known as flyer. Got my point? Cook is a verb, and the one who cooks is known as cook. Fly is a verb. Similarly, fly is a verb. The one who flies is known as flyer. Got my point? Let's move on to the next problem. The dawn of 25. I told you what is the meaning of dawn? Before the morning, right? Dusk is after the evening. Dawn is before the morning. The dawn of 21st century witnessed the melting glaciers oscillating between giving too much and too little to billions of people who depended on them for fresh water. The UN climate report estimates that without deep cuts to man-made emission, at least 30% of the northern hemisphere surface permafrost could melt by the end of the century. Now, what is the first one? First line simply shows that the glaciers are melting. Glaciers are melting. This is what first line shows. The second line shows that there is a UN climate report that estimates that if we don't do deep cuts in man-made emission, that means if man-made emission keeps going on the same way, estimates that without deep cuts to man-made emission. What do they mean by that? If we are not controlling man-made emission, if man-made emission are not controlled, then at least 30% of the northern hemisphere, surface permafrost could melt by the end of the century. So if we are not controlling man-made emission, this would happen. Now, given this situation of imminent global exodus of billions of people displaced by rising seas, nation states need to rethink their carbon footprint for political concern, if not for environmental ones. Now, because of this glacier, because of this melting glacier, what is happening? The situation of imminent global exodus means getting out of their home. That exact meaning is like, let me search it. To be very honest, I will search the exact meaning. Yeah, it means departure of people. This is what I said, like getting out of their home, like they have to departure from their home. So there is mass departure of people because of this rising seas. So basically people are getting affected because of this glacier melting. So now your nation state need to rethink their carbon footprint. Rethink their carbon footprints means they have to rethink about this issue. If not for environmental concern, then at least for political concern. They have to rethink about their issue. If not for environmental concern, at least for political concern. So what can be inferred? So first statement says that nation state do not have environmental concerns. Okay. So they do have environmental concerns. Like there is big difference between these two statements. I am writing two statements. Okay. S1, I don't have academic concern, and the second statement is I am not concerned about my academics. Are both of the statements same? Statement 1 and statement 2 are both of the same? No, they are not same. First one is saying I don't have academic concern. That means he don't need to think about his academics. His father is rich. He has some other plans. He is a trader. He don't need to think about academics. So this is what he means. I don't have academic concern. In statement 2, he is saying that I am not concerned about my academics. Now he is not concerned about his academics. he is not thinking. In the first one, he don't need to think. And in the second one, he is not thinking. Why? Because he is lazy. Nalayak hai wo. He is not a good student. The statement 2 is the guy who is not a good student. And statement 1 is the guy who is already rich. So he doesn't have any academic concern. The statement 1 guy doesn't have any academic concern because he is a rich guy. Or he is a trader or something else. He don't need to think. He is a cricketer. So he don't have any academic concern. But the second guy, he is not concerned about academics. He must be wasting his time. So the second guy is not concerned about academic, but he should be. That's the thing. So now in statement A, they are saying that nation states do not have academic concern. Sorry, not academic. Nation states do not have environmental concern. They do have environmental concern, right? Because there is something wrong is happening in the environment. Glacier is melting. So they do have environmental concern, but they are not concerned about environment. Are you getting the difference between two statements? Nation states do not have environmental concerns. Nation states do have environmental concern because there are glaciers are melting, so they do have environmental concerns, but they are not concerned about environmental issues. Okay, so you got my point. So they do have some environmental concern. So first one is wrong. So this was confusing one. So I told you the difference between these two statements. Second thing, nation states are responsible for providing fresh water to billions of people. No. People get water from these glaciers. Here it was written, too little to billions of people who depended on them for fresh water. So they get their water from these glaciers. Third one, billions of people are responsible for man-made emission. Although they are, but it is not mentioned anywhere in the paragraph. Billions of people are responsible for man-made emission. Now, generally, you can think that this statement is right. That man-made emission is because of the people of the country only. Generally, it is right, but it is not mentioned in the paragraph. You don't need to think of general case. You need to think what is mentioned in the paragraph. So, here nowhere is mentioned that the region of man-made emission is billions of people. The region of this man-made emission is billions of people. It is not mentioned anywhere in the graph. So, even statement C is wrong. What about statement D? Billions of people are affected by melting glaciers. Yeah, they are affected by melting glaciers because here you can see that there is exodus of billions of people, right, because of the rising seas. Okay, so yeah, the statement D is correct. So this concept you learn here, so that is very important. Let's move on to the next problem. This is a very simple problem. You have to go from 1 to 2. Different paths are there, and A, B, C, D, E, F are toll booths. A and E will take 200 rupees. A will take 200 rupees. E will take 200 rupees. Rest all will take 100 rupees. 100 rupees. What will be the pass that will cost you the minimum rupees? So first 1AC2. 1AC2. If you go from 1AC2, how much you have to give? 200 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. For this part 200, toll booth will take 200, then 100 again, toll booth will take 100, then again 100, right? So this much of money you have to give. So 400, 500 rupees you have to give for the first one. Second one, 1FB2. 1FB2. First 100, then at F you need to give 100, at B you need to give 100, and then going to 2 you need 200. So again 500 you need to give. Okay. Wait a minute. Is anything wrong? Oh, what I am doing here? Is it 500? No. 500, 700. Okay, it is 700. First one is 700. 200 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. Yeah, 700. Second, 1FB2. 1FB2. 100 plus 100 plus 100. Here 0 is there, so that will not be counted. 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 200. Right, 500. Let's check for the third one. 1B2. 1B2. 300 plus 100 plus 200. 300 plus 100 plus 200. We have to give 600. Let's check for the fourth one. 1FE2. 1F. 100 plus 1F plus 100 plus E. 100 At E you need to 1 F 100, then again 100, then F to E 100, then at E again 200, then at 2 again 200. So here you need to give 700. So what is the minimum? Second one. So B is the answer. Let's move on to the next problem. This one, question on GST. Paragraph is given and what can be inferred from the given passage. So GST is an indirect tax. Okay, GST is an indirect tax that was introduced in India in 2017, that is imposed on the supply of goods and services. The GST is imposed on the supply of goods and services. Imposed on the supply of goods and services, on the supply, and it subsumes all indirect taxes except few. All indirect taxes except few, not all. Okay, all except few, that means not all. It is a destination based tax imposed on goods and services used. The tax is imposed on goods and services used, and it is not imposed at the point of origin from where goods come. That means it is not imposed on the production of the goods, not imposed at the point of the origin from where goods come. GST also have a few components specific to state governments, central government and union territories. So they have few components specific to union territories as well. So which of the following can be inferred from the passage? GST is imposed on the production of goods and services. No, it is not imposed. It is not imposed at the point of origin from where goods come. So it is not imposed. GST includes all indirect taxes. It includes all indirect taxes except few. So this will also not come. GST doesn't have a component specific to UT. GST also have a component specific to UT as well. So it does have a component specific to UT. So this is all. GST is imposed at the point of uses of goods and services. Yeah, it is destination based tax imposed on goods and services used. That means it is imposed at the point of uses of goods and services. Yeah, so it is imposed at the point of goods and at the point of uses of goods and services, right? Here you can see destination based tax imposed on goods and services used. Now if P is 3, R is 27, T is 243, what will be Q plus S? P is 3, Q they don't know, R is 3 to the power 3, right, 27, S they don't know, and T is 243. What is 243? 3 to the power 5. 3 to the power 5. Okay. 81 into, yeah. So P, Q they don't know actually. So what will be Q? Q will be 3 square. And what will be S? It will be 3 to the power 4. So 3 square 9 plus 3 to the power 4 will be 81. 81 plus 9, 90. That's it. Easy question. You could get to know that it is cube of 3 or power of 3 to the power 5, that you can see here, right? These kind of question we can solve. Let's solve question number 8. This is a very good question actually. So figure below shows an annular ring with outer and inner radii as B and A respectively. The annular space has been painted in the form of blue color circle touching the outer and the inner periphery of annular space. If maximum n number of circles can be painted, then the unpainted area in the annual space is. Okay. First, we have to find the area of this one so that we could get to know where these rings are being painted. This small annular space has been painted in the form of blue color circles, where these blue color circles are painted. So for that we have to find this area, right? We have to find this area. So what will be that area? That area will be pi b square minus pi a square. Are you agreeing to this point? So the area will be pi b square minus a square. This is the total area we have. Now in that area, in this area, there are these rings painted. These small color, small blue color circles are painted, these, and there is this space left, this space is left, this space is left, this area we need to find what is left. So now we know the total area of this, then we can subtract the area of these circles area we can subtract, then we will find that this left area. Are you getting my point? We know the area of this, right? We know the area of complete area of this. If we can find the area of these circles, then by subtracting the area of the circles minus the area that we found, then we can get the left area, right? So this is the total area. How many circles are there? What is the radius of the circle? Tell me, what is the radius of the circle? This is diameter. What is the diameter? Diameter is b minus a. The diameter here is b minus a, right? So what will be the radius? Radius will be b minus a by 2. What will be the area? That will be pi b minus a whole square by 4, pi r square. And there are how many circles? N number of circles is there. There are n circles. So unpainted area. So what is the unpainted area? Unpainted area will be pi b square minus a square into pi b minus a whole square by 4 into n. Pi will be common, b square minus a square minus n by 4 b minus a whole square. Pi b square minus a square minus n by 4 b minus a whole square. So answer is A. Understood? Well and good, easy question. Let's move on to the next one. Two straight lines are drawn perpendicular to each other in xy plane. So xy plane is there. XY plane is there. They are drawn perpendicular to each other. So first line we can draw by our own. Okay, this line I have drawn. That is making an acute angle of 45 degree. What do you mean by acute angle, by the way? Acute angle is the angle, it is the angle less than 90 degree. Okay, angle less than 90 degree. It is the angle less than 90 degree. So this is what we call as acute angle. So this is the line I have made. Now the other line is perpendicular to it. Now the other line is perpendicular to it. It is perpendicular. Does it seem like a perpendicular line? No, it doesn't. Yeah, so other line is perpendicular. This is making a angle of 90 degree. So what they are saying, if alpha and beta are the acute angles made by the straight line with x-axis. So with x-axis it is making 45 degree, and acute angle it is also making 135 degree. But this we will not count. Why we will not count this one? Because the angle has to be less than 90 degree. This is what acute angle is. So we will not count this one. So this I can call alpha. Now if this is 90 degree, this will also be 90 degree. Right? This is 90 degree, then this will also be 90 degree. Now this is 90, this is 45, so this will also be 45 degree. So my beta, so the line 2 is making 45 degree angle with the x-axis. So my beta is 45. So alpha plus beta will be 90 degree. And now no matter whatever angle it has made, if it has made 50 degree, it would be 40 degree. If it had made 30 degree, it would be 60 degree. Right? Because this 90 and this 90 would have been same, and alpha plus beta combined would have been 90 degree only. So the answer will be 90 degree. B. Let's see this question, very easy question it is. Total revenue of a company from 2014 to 2018 is shown in the bar graph. If the total expenditure of the company in each year is 500 million rupees, then the aggregate profit or loss on the total expenditure of the company during 2014 to 2018 is. Okay, so this is the revenue. In the first year they made 500 million rupees, in the second year they made 700 million rupees, then 800, then 600 million rupees, and then 400 million rupees. So this much of money they made. and every year they invested, the expenditure was 500 million rupees. Expenditure was 500 million rupees. So they invested 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. So what is their total revenue? 15, 15, 10, 25, 25, 5, 30. 3000 million. And how much money they invested? 2500 million. 2500 million they invested, and 3000 they made. Their revenue was 3000, investment was 2500. So what is the profit or loss? What is happening here? Profit, right? Invested this much, made this much. So profit is there. How much is the profit? So 300 minus 2500 divided by 2500. That much is the profit. So it will be 500 by 25 into 100. It will be 20% of profit. Profit is 20%. Go to my point. You will not divide by 3000, right? On the investment, you always see the profit. My investment was 100 rupees. My investment was 100 rupees and my revenue was 120. So how much profit did I have? 20%, right? 120 minus 100 by 100. Revenue minus investment by investment. So here, revenue minus investment by investment. Got to my point? So if you ever get confused, just take the example, right? Let's move on to the next set now. So this is the first question. Rescue teams deployed in disaster hit areas. In the rescue team that has been employed in the disaster hit areas combat with a lot of difficulties. With combat, always with will be used. When there is combat word, always with will be used. I am combating with the gate exam. So they are in combat means युद्ध करना, सामना करना किसी चीज का सामना करना. So the rescue team which is deployed in disaster hit areas, they have to combat with a lot of difficulties to save the people. So deployed in and with. Now this was, I guess, tough question to solve. So here we didn't know the meaning of anything. Still I got it right. How did I got it right? I will tell that thing. So you have to find the appropriate word that can replace the underlined word. So you just need to find the synonym. That's the target. So nowadays most children have a tendency to belittle the legitimate concern of their parents. So when you read the line, let's just assume you don't know the meaning of belittle. But when you read the line, what do you think what it can be? Nowadays, most of the children have a tendency to belittle the legitimate concern of their parents. So what do you think what it can be? You know the meaning of everything else. Tendency, pravarti, legitimate, like which is legit. The thing which is legit, जो सापेक्ष है, सापेक्ष, concern, चिंता of their parents. So what do you think what it can be? That they don't take much notice towards the concern of their parents. They think that their concern is unimportant. Their concern is not important at all. This is what they think. Even if I don't know the meaning of belittle, I can still sense what can be the meaning of belittle here. Nowadays, most children have a tendency to belittle the legitimate concern of their parents. So I can simply cut this option. Applaud cannot be there. Applaud means to appreciate. They don't appreciate the concern of their parents. Reduce doesn't make any sense at all. Now I am left with two options: disparage and begrudge. Now I have two options. Now I have heard the term grudges, that I am having grudges for you. मैं गर्ज रखता हूं तुम्हारे लिए. ऐसे these kind of words you have heard, right? I am having grudges with you. I am having grudges with my ex-girlfriend. So these kind of words you must have heard, right? So that means to envy. Like I still don't appreciate that thing. I still don't like him or like that thing. So these kind of things. So begrudges cannot, like here the sense would be that they don't consider that thing important. They don't take much notice towards them. It's not that they hate them or they envy them, right? They don't take much notice, but it's not that they are hating them. So if you know the meaning of grudges only, you could think that this will not come. The only option left is disparage. There is no idea about the word disparage to me, but I could cancel out 3 options. Now, what does disparage mean? That represent as little worth. That means the same thing. Like they don't give much of worth to the advice of, or to the concern of their parents. So yeah, option A would be correct. But this is how we can think. This is what I told here. Okay. Yeah. So partial, impartial, antonym we are talking about. Partial, impartial, popular, unpopular. Right? The antonym is unpopular. Let's move on to the next problem. Very easy problem. After the inauguration of a new building, the head of the department collected all the faculty preference for office space. P wanted to have a room near the lab. Where is lab? Lab. P wanted to have a room near the lab. Q wanted to be close to the lift. Where is lift? Q wanted it to be close to the Q wanted to be close to the lift. R wanted a view of the playground. R wanted the view of a playground. Although everyone is getting the view of playground, R can be here as well, or here as well. And S wanted a corner office. So S has to be in the corner, here or here. But Q wanted here, so S will be here only. So R and HOD can replace each other, but this is the correct option. So this was the best option only. Here his position is wrong, Q position is wrong. Okay, here Q position is right actually, because he wants a room near the lift. But here the position of P is wrong, because he wants the room near the lab. So that is wrong. So P has to be here and Q can go here. Okay, so P is here, Q is here. Then S needs a corner one, and R and HOD both are near the playground only. So option C is correct. Question 5. What does this equal to? So f of fx. What is fx? Fx is fx square divided by fx. What will be f of x square? Whatever there in the bracket, that should be squared. In fx, x is in the bracket, that is squared. So x square is in the bracket, that will be squared divided by f of x. X square will be squared, that means it will be x to the power 4. X square will be squared, it will be x to the power 4. Now whatever that is in the bracket, that will be squared. So what is in the bracket? X to the power 4. So that will be squared, that means it will be x to the power 8. And fx is x square only. So this is x square. So what do you get? X to the power 6. Now in the first option, fx is equals to x. Fx of square will be x. Sorry, fx is equals to x square. Fx of x square. Square of fx. Square of fx, that will be x to the power 4. Cube of fx, that will be x to the power 6. And power 4 of fx would be x to the power 8. So what should be the correct one? Third one, C. Okay, easy question. In 11th, 12th class, we have solved these kind of questions, right? Next one. 6th question. Nominal interest rate is defined as the amount paid by the borrower to the lender for using the borrowed amount for a specific period of time. I have explained who is a borrower, who is a lender. The one who gives the money is the lender. The one who takes the money is the borrower. Suppose you are giving me 100 rupees. That means you are the lender, I am the borrower. उधार ले रहा हूं मैं आपसे. So you are the lender, I am the borrower. And if you give me some rupees, you will ask for some interest. That you are giving me 100 rupees with the interest rate of 5%. That means I have to return you 105 rupees. Interest rate of 5%. That means 5% of 100, 5 rupees. So if you are giving me 100 rupees, after some time I will return you 105 rupees. So nominal interest rate is defined as the amount paid by the borrower to the lender for using the borrowed amount for a specific period of time. So he borrowed some amount for a specific period of time. Now he has to give the interest. What my point? Real interest rate. Now there is new term introduced, that is real interest rate. Now this real interest rate calculated on the basis of actual value inflation adjusted is approximately equal to the difference between nominal rate This was the nominal rate, right? Nominal rate, which I explained. 100 rupees 5%, that is nominal rate. Minus expected rate of inflation, that means inflation rate. Let's assume I am giving you 100 rupees, or you are giving me 100 rupees, and you are saying that my interest is 5%. You are giving me 100 rupees, but my interest rate is 5%. So return me 105 rupees. But what happened? You gave me 100 rupees in 2010. In 2010, you gave me 100 rupees. Now in 2011, there was high inflation. Now because of this high inflation, the value of 100 rupees is decreased. Like, what do I mean? In the time of our parents, 10 rupee was a big thing. Okay, 10 rupee, you are giving 10 rupee to the children, that's a big thing. But if today we will give 10 rupee to a children, that's not a big thing, right? That is a small amount. As per us, 10 rupee is a small amount, but in our parents' time, 10 rupee was a bigger amount. So now you give me 100 rupees, at that time it was a bigger amount. When you gave me 100 rupees, at that time it was a bigger amount. But now inflation has increased. Now there is inflation. महंगाई हो गई है. So now 100 rupees is not that much of big amount. Are you getting my point? At that time 100 rupees was a big amount, so you can take 5%. If you are giving me high amount, you can take 5% of interest rate. But now 100 rupees is not that much of big amount, so you have to reduce your interest rate. So how will you reduce the interest rate? Nominal rate, which was 5%, minus inflation rate. Let's assume inflation was 3%. So this is how you will reduce it. So this is the logic. Even if you don't know the logic, you can still solve the problem actually, but I wanted to give you the logic, right? So what is the logic behind it? So this is the logic. Nominal rate minus inflation rate. So now what they are saying, okay, let's keep it here. So first point is, under high inflation, that means inflation rate is high. This is high. Under high inflation, real interest rate is low. Yeah, real interest rate is low. This will get low. Let's assume this was 5%, and now inflation rate is high, that means it is 4%. So the real interest rate will get low, right? The real interest rate will get low. This will be 1% only, and the borrower will get the benefit. Borrower means the one who took the money. So now he has to give only 1% of interest. So yeah, he will get the benefit. Statement 1 is right. Let's read other statements as well. Under low inflation, that means inflation is low, it is 1% only. The nominal rate was 5%. Now real interest rate is 4%. Under low inflation, real interest rate is high. Yeah, real interest rate is high. Borrower gets the benefit. How borrower gets the benefit? If interest rate is high. Interest rate is high, so borrower doesn't get the benefit. He has to give the money, right? So this is not wrong. He has to give 4% interest rate. Under high inflation, inflation is high, that means 4%. Inflation is high. Real interest rate is low. Yeah, real interest rate is low. Lender gets the benefit. No, lender doesn't get the benefit. This is low, so he will get only 1%. He will get only 1% of the interest, so he doesn't get the benefit. Under low inflation, this is low. Under low inflation, the real interest rate is low. No, the real interest rate is high. Under low inflation, real interest rate is low. No, it is not low, it is high. This is also wrong. Okay, so only option A is correct. So I hope you have understood it. Now this one, 7th one, this is also a good question. For the year 2019, which of the previous year's calendar can be used? In a non-leap year, how many days are there? Non-leap year, how many days are there? Sorry, what I was thinking something else. Yeah, forget it. 365 days are there. In a normal leap year, 365 days are there. In 365 days, I can break it down as 7 weeks plus 1 day, right? Divide by 7. Yeah, 52. If you divide it by 7, you will get 52. 7 5s are 35, 7 2s are 14. So 52 weeks plus 1 day. Let's assume in 2019, today is Sunday. In 2019, on, what is the day today? 18th of Jan. So in 2019, on 18th of Jan, it was Sunday. Let's assume it's not Sunday actually, it's Wednesday, but let's assume it's Sunday. So tell me, in 2018, on 18th of Jan, what day it will be? A day before it, Saturday. Saturday, yeah. It will be Saturday, right? From here you can understand. In 2018, you are having Saturday on this day, on 18th of Jan. Now, the same date will come after 365 days. The same date will come after 365 days. In 365 days, you will have 52 weeks. That means again Saturday will come, plus 1 day, Sunday will come. Are you getting my point? 18th Jan 2018 will come on 18th Jan 2018. There is Saturday. Now, after 365 days, you will have the same date. After 365 days, you will have the same date. Saturday is there, then 52 weeks, and one more day is there. So Saturday plus Sunday. Similarly, in 2017, 18th of Jan, there will be one day before, Friday, right? In 2016, now they are talking about January, yeah. So 18th of Jan will be what? Tell me. 18th of Jan will be what? Friday or, sorry, Thursday or Wednesday. 2016 is a leap year. 2016 is a leap year. And if it is a leap year, that means it will have 366 days. That means it will have 52 weeks plus 2 days. 52 weeks plus 2 days. Now, after Jan, February will come. So, this 18th of Jan and between 18th of Jan and 18th of Jan 2016 and 18th of Jan 2017, how many days are there? 366 days, right? Between 18th of Jan 2016 to 18th of Jan 2017, how many days are there? 366 days are there. That means we are 2 days ahead. So this day should be what? Wednesday. Similarly, in 2015, you will have what? You will have Tuesday. In 2014, you will have Monday. And in 2013, you will have again Sunday. So we started from Sunday and we are again with Sunday. So 2019 will match with 2013. Got my point? So this is how you needed to check. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, 2 days gap, Wednesday. Then again Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. If 2012 would have come, the case would have been different because 2012 again is a leap year, right? 2012 is a leap year. Well and good. Let's move on to the next problem. The ratio of the sum of odd positive numbers from 1 to 100. So 8th question, sum of odd positive number from 1 to 100. 1 plus 3 plus 5 till how much? 99. Do you know how many numbers they will be? No, we don't know. But we know one thing. 99 is the last term. First term is 1. A plus n minus 1 into what is the common difference? That is 2. So we can know the number of terms now. Number of terms will be 50. Although it's a common sense, it will be 50 only. Number of terms is 50. It will be 50 only. Why it will be 50? In 1 to 10 there will be 5, 11 to 20 there will be 5, 5 for 5 5 5, right? It will be 50 only. So what will be the summation? What will be the sum? That will be n by 2 a plus l. So 5 square 2500, right? 50 into 50, so 2500. Now in a school of 1000 students, oh sorry here, yeah, the ratio of sum of odd positive numbers from 1 to 100 to the sum of the even positive numbers from 150 to 200. So even positive number from 150 to 200, 150 plus 152 plus 154, and we will go up to 200. So what is your a? A is 150, D is 2. So you have to find the number of terms, but there is common sense as well. But don't apply so much of common sense that you get it wrong sometimes. So better solve it. Okay. So n would be what? 50. This will be 50 by 2, 26. So n is 26. Right? If you apply common sense here, you may write 25. Right? If you apply so much of common sense, you will end up writing 25, but it is 26. 150, 152, 154, 156, 158, 160. Already 6 are there. And in the next 20 more will come. 26. Okay, what will be the summation? N by 2, A plus L. Okay, so 13 into 350. 13 into 350. 4550. You need to take the ratio. What you need to do? You need to take the ratio. 25500 ratio with this. So which table you will start with? 50. Okay, 50. So 0 and 0 will get cancelled. Now 5 table. 50 and 5, 91. Right? So 50 ratio 91. Option C is correct. 50 ratio 91. Option C is correct. Now 9th question. In the school of 1000 students, 300 play chess, 600 play football, and 50 students play both football and chess. How many students play neither of those? It's the easiest question. You should be able to solve it. Right? $300 play chess and football, right? So 300 are those who play all, chess also and common also. And what are the common? Common are 50. So only chess will be 250 and only football will be 550. So total these are guys which are 750. So how many? Wait a minute. 6, 6, 7, 850. So how many guys are there who play none? 150. So 1000 minus 850 is equals to 150. Okay, so the answer is B. Let's solve the question. Last question of this set. The monthly distribution of 9-watt LED bulbs sold by two firms X and Y from January to June 2018 is shown in the pie chart corresponding and the corresponding table is given. Okay, if the total number of LEDs sold by two firms from two firms during April June is 50,000. So there is this issue during April to June is 50,000. So actually this should be, if you sold it by this June from April to June it is 50,000, then no answer will match. That's why it was MTA. It was actually MTA. It was marks to all, but not April to June. It is, this is from Jan to June, right? This is from Jan to June. So from Jan to June 2018, they are selling 50,000 LEDs. Then the number of LEDs sold by the firm why during April to June is. Okay, so let's see. During April to June, they sold 35% of. Okay, don't do by that. Just do by April. In April, how many LEDs they sold? If the total from Jan to June was 50,000, so in April they will sold 15% of 50,000. So what is 15% of 50,000? 7.5k. In April they sold 7.5k, and what is the ratio? 3:2. So 2 part was sold by Y out of 5. 3:2. Let's assume I have 100 rupees and I divide it in the 3:2. So this guy will get 2 by 5, 40 rupees, and the other guy will get 60 rupees. So this is how I need to divide. So total that was sold by was 7.5k, because 15% of 50,000, 15% of 50,000, that is 7.5k, and sold by Y is 2 by 5 of that. So 15 by 5, that means 3k. In May, 10% of 50k, 10% of 50k is 5k. What is the ratio? 4 by 5. That means 5k they sold, right? 4k, sorry, 4k. So they sold 4k. And in the June, again 5k. But what is the ratio? That is 11 by 20. So 11 by 20 into 5. 11 by 20 into 5. So that is 2.75k. 2.75k. If you add 2.75k plus 7, you will get 9.75k. So total will be 9.75k. So the answer would be option B. Okay, this set is also completed. Now we will solve the next set. Okay, so let's solve this set. First question: it is a common criticism that most of the academicians live in their blank, so they are not aware of real life challenges. So now these kind of questions are made to be dropped only. So I would have certainly dropped this question in the examination, because I'm not even aware what they are trying to convey here. Like, I can get the meaning that they are trying to say that the people live in their big houses or big flats, and they are not aware of real life challenges. They don't know what is happening in the real world. They don't know what is happening out of their house. So I get the meaning, but what should be the correct one? Live in their homes, live in their every towers, live in their glass palaces, live in their big flats. So all four options are same for me. I can't eliminate anyone, right? So then I googled it, although I didn't know the correct answer. Then I googled it. Then I got to know that to live in their every towers, this is a idiom. Okay, idiom. In idiom meanings, in Hindi we call that muhavra. So it's a muhavra. It's an idiom. So that has a certain meaning. That means that avoid what's happening in others' life. That means that avoid what's happening in other life. So this live in their homes, live in their glass palaces, live in their big flats, that doesn't have a separate meaning. But this have a separate meaning, that most of the academicians live in their every towers. So that means they live in their big houses, or that's an idiom. So they don't know what's happening in the real life challenges. They are not aware of the things that is happening outside the world, right? So this is what they mean. Okay, so answer would be B. Let's move on to the next question. His hunger for reading is insatiable. He reads indiscriminately. He is certainly an or a blank reader. Insatiable. Insatiable means unable to be justified. Unable to be satisfied, actually. Unable to be satisfied. Even if we don't know the meaning of this, we can answer. It is his hunger for reading is unable to be satisfied. He can't be satisfied with the his hunger cannot be satisfied, right? Because he likes to read a lot and a lot. He reads indiscriminately. This word you must have heard, right? Discriminate. Discriminate means भेदभाव करना. भेदभाव. In Hindi we call that भेदभाव. Discriminate. Like, this guy is black, this guy is white, this guy cannot see, this guy cannot hear. So this is what we call discrimination. So indiscriminately means बिना किसी भेदभाव के. That means without any judgment. Without judgment. Without judgment. So that means he reads indiscriminately. That means he reads every book that he sees. He reads every book that he sees. he is not doing any discrimination. He reads blindly. He reads all the books. His hunger is insatiable. He just keeps on reading. He reads and reads and reads. Are you appreciating that guy in the statement? Tell me. I'm saying that that guy is mad for books. He just keeps on reading. He reads indiscriminately. He reads without judgment. His hunger cannot be satisfied for reading. Are you appreciating that guy? You are just telling his quality, that he likes to read a lot. I would, if I am appreciating that guy, I would say that the books he read is quality books. That his hunger for reading is insatiable. That I can say, and that at least I would say that he reads quality books only. He reads quality books only. He invests his time in quality books only. So that I would have said, right? But here I am not really appreciating the guy. So he is certainly a all-round reader. We can't say wise reader. We can't say. Now there are these two terms: precocious and voracious. So one of the term will be there. Now I never heard this term actually. When I solved this question for the first time, I never heard this term. But I have heard precocious term. What precocious? This I have heard. Precocious. What do you mean by precocious? That showing the ability of a mature guy at a young age. Precocious. Precocious. Showing the ability of a matured guy at a very young age. This is what we call precocious. Okay. So showing the ability of a matured guy at a very young age, that this is what we call precocious. This is also a word which will appreciate him, that he is showing the maturity. So there is nothing that shows that he is showing the maturity. So I can cut this option as well. So only option left is voracious. I need to check the meaning of voracious. Voracious. Wanting great quantities, no. Voracious meaning. Yeah, engaging in an activity with great enthusiasm. So they are saying that voracious means engaging in an activity with great enthusiasm. So yeah, he has great enthusiasm of reading books. So voracious is the correct answer. Now third one, fuse, fusion, fusion, PrepFusion, and use. Okay. So what will come here? That they are asking. So you fuse. What is fuse? Fuse is a verb, and fusion is a noun. Right? What do you mean by fusion? Combining two or more things to make it one. Combining two or more things to make it one. So fusion is a noun, that is a verb. Use is a verb. What will be its noun? Uses. Uses. User, uses, usen. Usen is not even a word. Uses, that's a verb. Usen is not even a word. It's not even a word. Uses is a verb, right? And user or uses. So uses is the noun of it, right? Now 0, 1, 2, dot, 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 7, 8, 9 are coded as 0 PQ, OPQ, sorry, VWX, then 45 will be coded what? So O is 1, P is 1, O is 0, P is 1, OPQ, R, S, T, U. That will be 3, 4, 5, 6. So 45 will be coded as ST, B. Okay. Yeah, for once, let's get back to this question. Now, people can have one doubt that usage is also a noun and this is also a noun. Right? User is also a noun. Usage is also a noun and user is also a noun. Then what will come? Look, in the previous one, fusion is made from fuse. That means you are fusing two or more quantities or two or more things and make it one. You fuse two or more quantities and you make it one. Now, what is user? User is the one who is using a particular device. Then we call that user. Now, what is uses? What do you mean by uses? So, uses is the action of using something, right? It is the action of using something. Look, fusion is made from fuse. That means you fuse two or more things and you make it one. This is what we call fusion. For use, two nouns are there, user and uses. What should come? User is also a noun, but user is the guy or something that who is using a particular product. That is user. And what do you mean by uses? The action of using something. Fusion is also connected with the action of fuse. If you fuse two or more things, Similarly, usage is also connected with the action of using. So that's why usage is a more appropriate answer. So that's why answer A would be the correct. Okay. So yeah, this can be the doubt. That's why I came back to that question. Let's solve the next problem. The sum of two positive number is 100 after subtracting. So sum of two positive numbers. Fifth one. Sum of two positive number is 100. X plus y is 100. After subtracting 5 from each number and product of resulting number is 0. So 5 from this and 5 from y. So product of resulting number is 0. That means one of the number has to be 5. Either y or x. One of the number will be 5. Either y or, if x is 5, then that means y will be 95. And if y is 5, that means x will be 95. So the other number will be 95. अरे भाई ये क्या हो गया? Yeah, so it would be 95. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. So you have to read the passage and you have to tell me what can be inferred from the graph. Look, don't skip these kind of problems. Okay, here these kind of problems are important as well. Also, I am not just telling you the answer, I am telling you the approach. So please don't skip this. Okay, please watch the solution once, because it will take efforts to explain as well, and secondly, it is important as well. That's more important thing for you. It is important. You will not be able to answer correctly. Even if your English is strong, you will be messing up this question if you don't really take much full notice. So I am telling you again and again, watch the solution once. So the American physiologist Howard Gardner expounds that human intelligence can be subcategorized into multiple kinds in such a way that individuals differ with respect to their relative competence in each kind. That means they are saying that everyone is good in their manner, right? Right? Like someone can be good in cricket, someone can be good in studies, someone can be good in hockey, someone can be good in physics, someone can be good in chemistry. So this they are saying. This is what we mean by the first line. Now, based on this theory, modern educationists insist on prescribing multidimensional curriculum. So, who is modern educationists are insisting on prescribing multidimensional curriculum and evaluation parameters that enable development and assessment of multiple intelligence. Now, who came with this theory? Uh, the American physiologist Howard Gardner expounded that human intelligence can be subcategorized into multiple kinds in such a way individual differ with respect to their relative competence in each kind. So yeah, so who came with this theory? Howard Gardner. So let's read the first statement. Howard Gardner insists that the teaching curriculum and evaluation needs to be multidimensional. No, he is not saying that it should be multidimensional. Modern educationists are saying that it should be multidimensional. Howard Gardner is not saying that. So this will be wrong. Option B. Howard Gardner wants to develop and access the theory of multiple intelligence. No. Modern educationists insist on prescribing multi-dimensional curriculum and evaluation parameter that enable development and assessment of multiple intelligence. Okay, so here Howard Gardner doesn't want to develop and access the theory of multiple intelligence. Okay, so option B will also be wrong. Let's read the option D, then we will come to C. Modern educationists insist that teaching curriculum and evaluation needs to be multidimensional. So here you can clearly see that modern educationists insist on prescribing multidimensional curriculum and evaluation parameters. So modern educationists insist that teaching curriculum and evaluation needs to be multidimensional. So that seems more appropriate option for me. In the option C, they are saying that modern educationists want to develop and access the theory of multiple intelligence. Now, if you read this line, modern educationists insist on prescribing multidimensional curriculum and evaluation parameter that enables development and assessment of multiple intelligence. Now, if you read this line, you may think that option C can be true, but read this line again. Here you will realize that it's not that modern educationists want to access the multiple intelligence. It's not that modern educationists want to access the multiple intelligence. Okay, they want us to access the multiple intelligence. They are just saying that if you prescribe a multi-dimensional curriculum, then we will be able to access the multiple intelligence, access the theory of multiple intelligence or whatever. So if we prescribe multi-dimensional curriculum, then this will be possible. So they are not actually saying that they will be accessing the theory of multiple intelligence. So C also will be wrong. And between C and D looks more appropriate option. So we have to pick the best one. So D I would be picking. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem. 5 friends PQRST went on camping. At night they had to sleep in a row. PQRST had to sleep in a row. Now P, Q and T refused to sleep next to R. So 3 people P, Q, T refused to sleep next to R. So R cannot be here, right? So R can be here in the beginning or in the last. R can be in the beginning or in the last. And P, Q, T are not sleeping with R. That means S has to sleep with R. So P, R, S, this can be the option, or S, R, this can be the option. Then rest 3 will come and rest 3 will come. So these two are the possible cases, right? R has to be right in the beginning or at the last. And if R is there, S should be near to him. S should be near to him. Now P and S wanted to avoid Q as he usually hugged people in sleep. Okay. So S want to avoid Q. So after one space, Q will come. After one space, Q will come. So basically I have to check SR in the beginning. Sorry, RS in the beginning. RS is in the beginning. This can be the option. Or RS in the last. RS in the last, RS in the last. Okay, all three are correct. That's it. Option A is correct. And they are saying that S wants to avoid Q. Okay, yeah, he is avoiding Q because after 2 space Q is coming. So this can also be a possibility because he wants to avoid the Q. So after 2 space Q is coming. So that's it. Option A is correct. Very easy question. Now, 8th question. Insert 7 numbers between 2 and 34 such that the resulting sequence including 2 and 34 is an arithmetic progression. Okay. So between 2 and 34 you need to insert 7 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and this will be 34. So now this would become a arithmetic progression. So this would become an AP. What is your first term? That is 2. And what is your 9th term? 9th term is 34. So 9th term is 34. A plus n minus 1 into D. D you need to find. This is your 9th term. Right? And this is your first term. What is the formula of nth term? 9th term is 34. That is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. So 32 by 8. 4. D is 4. So basically your AP will go like this. 2, 6, 2, 6, and so on. It will go on like this. You need to find the sum of the inserted numbers. Sum of these inserted number. What I will do, I will find the addition till this point. So that would be n by 2. That means 9 by 2 A plus D. So 18. 18 into 9. 180 minus 9. That would be 162. But I have to subtract 36. 34 plus 2 because I have to find the sum of the inserted number only, these much numbers only. So minus 36. So that would make 6 to 1, 126. So option is C. Got my point? 2 and 34 inserted 7 numbers. So 34 would become 9th number. So D would become, my common difference would become 4. So numbers are 6 and whatever they are. So what, just one thing I know is that I can find the sum of all the numbers. Okay, I could have directly done this step. I did not need to find the number 6 and all these things. I could have directly done this step that I would have added first and last I would have added all the numbers. That would give me 162 and then just subtracted 36, 126. This step was not even required. Are you getting my point? 2 and 34, there are 9 terms. I just added all the 9 terms. Because I know they are in AP, so the formula will be n by 2 A plus L. First term plus last term. So 9 by 2. So 162 is the final answer. Now I have to subtract 36 from that because I just need to calculate the sum of the inserted number. So 36 will be less. 32 plus 34 plus 2, that is 36, that would be subtracted. So 126 is my final answer. Option C is correct. Now question 9, this is a very good question. The units place in this number will be. Now you will think that there is some formula, but believe me, whenever you see any question in gate examination, you can solve it with basic aptitude. Believe on this thing. Okay. If you see some question and you feel like this will be based on formula, just hold on to that. You can certainly solve it with basic aptitude as well. So don't give up on any question. So I will tell you how to solve this problem with basic aptitude. Look, just I will take an example. Let's assume I am taking example of 12. What will be 12 to the power 1? 12. What will be 12 to the power 2? That will be 24. What will be 12 to the power 3? That will be 24 into 12. 288. Although you don't need to find, I am just explaining you. Into 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12 to the power 5 will be 41472. Right? Now let's forget this thing. Let's tell me one thing. If I am multiplying 12 into 12, one thing I know that 12 square is 24. Wow. 144. Okay, so one thing I know that 144 will go. I can tell you what will be my units place. Unit place multiplied by unit place, that will be my unit place. 144. If I am multiplying 144 with again 12, I can tell you what will be my unit place. Unit place multiplied with unit place. 8. Because down to 8 nothing will come. Here numbers will come, here numbers will come, but nothing will come down to 8. Are you getting my point? If I multiply 144 with 144 only, I can tell you what will be my unit place. 4 into 4, 16, 6. 6 will be my units place. And here you can see 12 to the power 4, that is 6 is my units place. Are you getting this point? Now, whatever the power is given, right? I am writing 28 to the power 52. I just need to calculate what will be the units place of 8 to the power 52. That would be it. If I can calculate what will be the units place in 8 to the power 52, what will be the units digit in 8 to the power 52, then I would be fine with that, because I don't need to care about this. I took many examples. 144 into 144, did we care about all these things? No. 144 into 12, did we care about 14 and 1? No. We just need to care about the last two terms, last terms. So 8 multiply, here what is happening? 28 multiplied with 28 multiplied with 28 multiplied with 28. So we have to care about the last 8. This is what we need to care about. So if I can find this, then I am good to go. That's it. So now my target is to find units place for 9 to the power 110016. Now this is also a tough task. How will you do it? Okay, let's check. What is 9 to the power 1? 9. 9 to the power 2 is 81. 9 to the power 3 is 729. 9 to the power 4 is whatever it is. But I can tell you one thing. 9 to the power 4 will have 729 into 9. 9 to the power 4 will have 1 at the units place. It will have 1 at the units place. Now this is having 81 at 9 at units place. This is having 1. This is again having 1. Sorry, 9. This is again having 1. Now tell me, what will be 9 to the power 5? 9 to the power 5 will have 9 at units place. Why so? Because it will be multiplied with 9. 9 into 1, 9. Tell me, what will be 9 to the power 6? It will have 1 at units place, because 9 into 9. It will have 1 at units place. Right? So what do you see? For every even power, you are getting 1, and for every odd power, you are getting 9. What is the number? What is this number? This is even or odd? This is even. For even power, you are getting 1. So answer would be 1. That's it. This much of easy question. So whenever two numbers are multiplied or two numbers are in power or anything, if they are asking you these kind of question, you can solve it very quickly like this. Let's take one more example, so that would make more clear concepts more clear to you. For this I am taking one more example. Let's assume I am asking you what will be the units place in 82 to the power 72 into 74 to the power 63. You have to find the unit place in this one. What I can do, I can find unit place of this, then I can find unit place of this, then I can multiply both of them, then I can find unit place of the final one. So first my target is to find the unit place of 2 to the power 72. So what is 2 to the power 1? 2. 2 to the power 2, 4. 2 to the power 3, 8. 2 to the power 4, 16. 2 to the power 5, so 16, yeah, 16. 2 to the power 5 is 32. This 2 is repeated again. So cycle is 4. After every 4 cycle it is being repeated. First it will come 2, 4, 8 and then 6. Then 2 to the power 6 will be 64. 4. These are being repeated now. Cycle is 4. So after every 4 cycle, for 2 to the power 4, it will have units place as 6. 2 to the power 8 will have unit place as 6 again. So now is 4 divisible by 72? Is 4 divisible by 72? Yeah, 72 by 4. 4 1 ja 4, 4 8 ja 32. Yeah, by 18. That means 4 2 to the power 72 as well. What will come? 6 will come. So here the unit place of this much term, unit place of 82 to the power 72, that will be 6. Unit place will be 6. Got my point? 8 to the power 72 will have unit place as 6. Now let's talk about 74 to the power 63. Now we have to check for 4 because that will be equals to 4 to the power 63. So let's check for 4. 4, 16, 4 to the power 3 will be 64. 4 to the power 4 will be whatever it is, 4 into 4. It will have 6 at the end. So for 4, 2 is the cycle. So for 4 to the power 4 will have 4 to the power 2 will have 6 in the end. 4 to the power 4 will have 6 in the end. 4 to the power 6 will have 6 in the end again. Right? 2 is the cycle. 2, 2, 2. So now we are talking about 63. So 4 to the power 62 will have what? 4 to the power 62 will have 6 in the end. 4 to the power 62 will have 6 in the end. What will 4 to the power 63 will have then? Into this 4. So again 4 it will have. So it will have 4. Are you getting my point? 4 to the power 62 will have 6 in the end. Now what will 4 to the power 63 will have? That will have 6 into 4. That means 24. That means unit place is 4 only. So it will have 4 only. So this 4 and this 6. 6 and 4 will make 24. So final answer would be my 4 only. What do you understand? That this would give you 2 to the power 72 will give you 6. Right? And this will give you 4. So 6 into 4. 6 into 4, what they will give you at unit place? They will give you 4 only. So 6 into 4 is 24. So 2 will be cancelled. The final answer will be 4. So this is our final answer. Final answer is 4. So this is how you can approach this question. So always try to think in the examination. Okay. No formula based question will come. You have to think. And if it comes, that is your bad luck. Okay. So there is high chances that no formula based question will be there. You have to think in the examination. That's it. Let's move on to the next problem. The total expenditure of a family on different activities in a month is shown in the pie chart. The extra money spent on education compared to transport in percentage is okay. Compared to transport, the extra money spent on education. Let's assume they spend 100 rupees. So on education they spend 15 rupees. On education they spend 15 rupees, and on transport they send 10 rupees. Now they are asking the extra money spent on education as compared to transport. If you can't understand this statement, take an example. Let's assume Ram spend 100 rupees and Shyam spend 50 rupees. And now if you say that how much money, this is Ram, this is Shyam, how much money Ram spend compared to Shyam? How much more money Ram spend compared to Shyam? How much more money Ram spend compared to Shyam? So compared to Shyam, so 100 minus 50 by 50 into 100. This is what you will do. That would become 100%. So 100% of Shyam is having 50 money. Shyam is having 50 rupees. So 100% of 50 rupees, that would be more 50 rupees. 50 rupees plus 50 rupees, 100 rupees. And this is what Ram is spending. So Ram spend 100% more than Shyam. Ram spend 100% more than Shyam. 50 rupees, what is 100% of 50 rupees? That is 50 rupees only. And this is what Ram is spending. So Ram spent 100% more than Shyam. So in the same way what you did, 100 minus 50 by 50. So in the same way what you will do, what they are asking, the extra money spent on education compared to transport. So 15 minus 10 by 10 into 100. That means 50%. So answer is C. That's it. So for the 10th question, answer is C. Let's move on to our last set. So this will be our last set. So the ultimate loss of life is a cause of serious global concern as thousands of people get killed in accident. Before accident, always in will come. That's a certain rule that people get killed in accident and die of diseases. Before diseases, always die of. Before diseases, always of will come. Okay, die of disease. Die from disease will not be there, and die in accident or killed in accident. So before accident, in come, and before disease, of come. So this is general general rules that we should all know. Like if you have read the statement sometimes in memes only or in some paragraph only or some books only, so that would be good enough for you because there these kind of statements are used. So that will stay in our mind, right? So killed in accident every year while many other die of disease. He was not only accused of theft but also conspiracy. Not only but also. You must have heard it. Not only but also. You can take an example as well. He is not only a good fielder but also a good bowler. He is not only a good fielder but also a good bowler. That means he is a good fielder as well and also a good bowler. So he is not only a good fielder but also a good bowler. So yeah, not only but also. Explicit, implicit, express, repress. Antonym: explicit, implicit. Explicit means explicit means which is clear. I guess this is what it means. Explicit means which is very clear. Explicit meaning clear. Yeah, stated clearly. And implicit means which is unclear, which is not clear. Clear, unclear. Express, repress. Express means to express, to tell someone the things that you are feeling, to tell someone. Repress means just keeping it with yourself. You don't tell anyone. So this is what repress means. So express, repress. Right? So B option will be correct. Let's solve this question. Yeah, the Canadian Constitution requires that equal importance should be given to English and French. This is what Canadian Constitution requires. Last year, Air Canada lost a lawsuit. Air Canada lost a lawsuit, and they had to pay six-figure fine to French-speaking couple after they filed complaints about formal in-flight announcement in English lasting 15 seconds as opposed to informal 5-second message in French. So Canadian Constitution, what they want that equal priority should be given to English and French, right? And last year, what happened that Air Canada had lost a lawsuit of some couple. Some couple brought some lawsuit with them. They had to give it to the airport, and they lost it. So then they had to pay six-figure fine to those couple. And why did they have to pay the fine? Because they lodged a complaint. They filed a complaint that was that in in flight there was announcement that was formal and that lasted for 15 minutes 15 seconds. So the announcement was made in English that lasted for 15 seconds, and the announcement that was made in French that lasted only for 5 seconds. And formally it was announced in English, but informally it was announced in French. Right? So this is what it is given in the paragraph. So the French speaking couple were upset at the in-flight announcement being in English. That was not a problem. You can announce the thing in English, but equal importance should be given to French. This is incorrect. The English announcement being clearer than French one. Let's hold on to this one. The English announcement being longer than the French one. Let's hold on to this one as well. Equal importance being given to English and French. They actually want this. So this is also cancelled. So B and C. Now I will give you logic and I will tell you why B is correct. Sorry, why C is correct. But if I had been the student, I would have surely gone for B option. When I solved it for the first time, I also ticked on option B only, because this is what seems more feasible to me. Look, if you read the paragraph, they say that formal announcement was made. Formal in-flight announcement was made that lasted for 15 seconds, and informal announcement was made that lasted for 5 seconds. So here the reason of being upset can be that English announcement lasted more than French one. This is also one of the reason to be upset, because that lasted for 15, that lasted for 5 seconds. And also they have used this informal word as well, but informal doesn't mean it's unclear. Are you getting my point? Informal doesn't mean it's unclear. Okay, and believe me, if answer would have been B, if answer would have been B and not C, then what I would have said? I would have said that informal means unclear. That means the announcement was not clear. Now, issue is not that it's for 15 seconds or 5 seconds, but it was unclear. That's why answer is B. Now answer is C. So I will say that informal doesn't mean unclear. So these are very confusing question. You will take a chance, you will put on B or on C, and you will wait for IIT's response. That's the reality. Okay, now I can explain it. After solving the question, I know the answer, then I can explain you, okay, informal doesn't mean here that it's unclear. It can be clear as well. Okay, that's why option B cannot be true. Okay, because the French announcement can also be clear. So B is not true, C is true. But B can also be true if answer given was B. Okay, so these kind of questions are actually unclear. You just put an option and you wait for IIT's response, because paragraph is easy. You understood everything about the paragraph. Now you may think that both of the statements are true, that English announcement being longer than the French one, and also it was not English announcement was clearer as well. So yeah, that's the thing, right? So anything can be the case. But if you just now I thought it, if you feel more deeply in the option B, what they are saying, the English announcement being clearer than the French one. Now they don't have problem with the English announcement being clear. They don't have any problem with that. They just want that French announcement should also be clear. They don't have any problem with the English announcement being clear. They also want that French announcement should be clear. But if you go by the same logic in option C, that English announcement being longer than the French one, then I can again say that they don't have any problem with English announcement being longer. They just want French announcement to be longer as well. So yeah, again, so both of the options seems feasible for me. So answer given was C. We can't really help it. Let's move on to the next problem. And the superadditive function satisfied the following property. Which of the following function is superadditive for x greater than 1? So x greater than 1, for x greater than 1, you can take any value of x. What I will think, I will take x1 equals to x2 equals to 2. And I will put these things in this equation and check if they satisfy all or not. So let's put first one, e to the power x. Y is equals to e to the power x. So e to the power x1 plus x2, that will be 2 plus 2, is greater than e to the power x1, that is 2 plus e to the power 2. So e to the power 4 is greater than 2 e to the power 2. That means e to the power 2 is greater than 1. Sorry, e to the power 2 is greater than 2. Is that statement correct? Yeah. e to the power 2 is greater than 2. You can check it. What did I do? X is greater than 1. I can assume any value. I am assuming x1 is equals to x2 is equals to 2. This is what I am assuming. Okay. I put 2 here. I put 2. What is this? E to the power x1 plus x2. This is e to the power x1 plus x2. So e to the power 2 plus 2, e to the power 4. That is greater than e to the power x1 fx1 plus e to the power x2, e to the power 2. So e to the power 2 is greater than 2. This is what I am having in the end. So is this correct? Yeah, this is correct. So option A is correct. Let's check for other option as well. You can check for rest of the option. I will check for option B. So root x1 plus x2, root x1 plus x2, that would be root 4. That is greater than or equals to root 2, root x1, that means root 2 plus root 2. So what is root 4? That is 2. 2 is greater than 2 root 2. Is it correct? No, this is not correct. 2 is greater than 2 root 2. No, this is not correct. Let's check for option C as well. 1 by x1 plus x2. That means 1 by 2 plus 2. That will be 1 by 4. That is greater than 1 by x1, 1 by 2 plus 1 by x2, 1 by 2. So 1 by 4 is greater than 1. Is that correct? No. Let's check for option D as well. E to the power minus x1 plus x2. Here bracket will become minus x1 plus x2. That means minus 4. E to the power minus 4. That is greater than e to the power minus 2 plus e to the power minus 2. So that would become e to the power minus 2, 2 e to the power minus 2. That means 1 is, sorry, e to the power minus 4 it is. So that would become e to the power minus 2 is greater than 2. Is it correct? No. E to the power minus 2 is very much less than 2. So D is also wrong. So A option is correct. So that's how you can check. Let's move on to the sixth question. This is actually a good question. These kind of English questions should be asked as per me, not these kind of. Okay. Yeah. So the global financial crisis in 2008 considered to be the most serious worldwide financial crisis. So global financial crisis that came in 2008. Now this started with subprime lending crisis in USA in 2007. It started with subprime crisis in USA. The subprime lending crisis led to means after that it happened, led to banking crisis in 2008. It led to banking crisis in 2008 with the collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008. The subprime lending refers to provision of loans to those borrowers who may have difficulties in repaying loans, and it arises because of excess liquidity following the East Asian crisis. So what happened? There was a crisis in East Asia. There was a crisis in East Asia, and because of that, the people were not able to repay the loan, and because of that, there was this subprime lending crisis. Are you getting my point? Read the statement again. The subprime lending refers to the provision of loans to those borrowers who may have difficulties in repaying loans. So it refers to the provision of the loans which was not repaid by the borrowers. So there was some loan which was not repaid by the borrowers. Because of that, subprime lending happened. And why the borrowers were not able to repay the loan? Why the borrowers were not able to repay the loan? Because there was East Asian crisis. So first what happened? East Asian crisis. Then because of that, subprime lending crisis. And because of that, banking crisis. And because of that, global financial crisis. That's why option A is correct. Right? Let's move on to the next question. Now people will say here you need to remember the formula. Again, I will say you don't need to remember the formula. We will solve it without remembering the formula. You have to, it is 3:15. 3:15. You need to know what is quarter past. Quarter past means quarter past. That means 15 minutes ahead. Okay, my mobile got switched off. And what do you mean by quarter to? That means 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes remaining. I will put the charger to my mobile. Yeah, so what I was saying, quarter past means 15 minutes ahead and quarter to means 15 minutes remaining. 2. If I am saying it's quarter to 3, that means it's 2:45. The time is quarter to 3. quarter to 3. That means 15 minutes is remaining for 3 o'clock, 2:45. It is quarter past 15. That means 15 minutes ahead of 3. That means it is 3:15. So they are talking about 3:15 here. What they are talking about? They are talking about 3:15. It is quarter past 3 in your words. That means they are talking about 3:15 AM or PM, whatever it is. So what is the angle between hour hand and the minute hand? Okay, this is the clock. This is 0. This is 6. This is 3. This is 9. This will be 1. This will be 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. 0 I should not write. 12. And this is the center, let's assume. So quarter past 3. That means 3:15 is the time. Minute hand will be on 3 only, right? Because this is 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. This is 10 minutes. This is 5 minutes. This is 0 minute. This is 20 minutes. This is 25 minute. So this is the minute hand. Now at 3 o'clock, at complete 3 o'clock, our hand would have been here. At complete 3 o'clock, our hand would have been here. At complete 3 o'clock. If I am saying it's 3 o'clock now, so this will be 3 o'clock, right? This is our hand and this is minute hand. So this would be our hand and this is minute hand at 3 o'clock. Now if it is past now 15 minutes have gone. So the our hand would have been moved as well, right? Our hand would have been moved as well. So minute hand was there. Now our hand also has moved. Our hand also have moved. Tell me in 1 hour in movement of our hand. Movement of our hand. You have to just find this angle, right? How much the our hand has moved. So in 1 hour, tell me in 1 hour how much degree an hour hand move. In 12 hours it moves 360 degree, right? In 12 hours. In 1 hour it moved 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 12 hours it moved 360 degree. In 12 hours it move 360 degree. That means in 1 hour it will move 30 degree. In 60 minutes it moves 30 degree. That means in 15 minutes how much it would have moved? 30 by 60 into 15. That means 30 by 4. 7.5 degree. That's it. So this theta is 7.5 degree. The angle between them is 7.5 degree. The minute is at 15. No one can change that. That is at 15. Now our hand has moved. In 1 hour it would have moved. In 1 hour it would have moved 30. In another 1 hour it would have more 30, more 30, more 30, more 30. But it's only 15 minutes now. Only 15 minutes. That means it would have moved only 7.5 degree. So answer is B. That's it. No need to remember any formula. By the way, the formula is 30h minus 11 by 2m, where your time is hm. Your time is this. Let's assume your time is 3 hours 15 minutes. So you would put 30 into 3 minus 11 by 2, 15. So this is what you will get, I guess. I don't have calculator right now because my mobile is on charge. 90 minus whatever you do, 7.5. So 77.5. It will become 77 point whatever it will become. Okay, 7.5 into 11. 7.5, 7.5, 5, 12, 8. Yeah, 7.5 answer only we will get. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, we can do with the example as well. So here 7.5 degree will come. But here you just thought of it. 12 hour 360, 1 hour 30 degree. So in 15 minutes, 7.5 degree, you can think of it as well. So that's how we got the answer. Let's move on to the next problem. This is the easy problem. We have to find the area of this shaded portion, right? So what is the area of the circle? That is pi a square minus the area of this square we have to subtract. So how will we find the area of this square? This side will be a. So the total side will be 2a, right? This is a, this is a 2a. So let's assume this side is x. So this side is also x. So x square plus x square is equals to 4a square. 2x square is equals to 4a square. So x square is equals to 2a square, right? Am I doing it right or wrong? Right. So what will be the area? Area will be pi a square minus, area is pi x square. So pi a square minus 2a square. So the area will be C, right? Let's see the next question now. This is a good question actually. So A, B, C are real numbers. The quadratic equation is this, has equal roots. Which is beta then? A, B, C are real number. The quadratic equation has equal roots. Which is beta? Then what is the value of beta? Or beta square or beta cube, whatever they are asking. So what is our quadratic equation? The general form is ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is positive actually. Ax square plus bx plus c. This is our form. What are the roots? Roots are minus of minus b, it will be. Minus of minus b. Plus minus root b square minus 4ac. Minus b square, it will be b square only. Minus 4ac by 2a. The root will be b by 2a because it is equal. That means b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. This is the rule. That means b square is equals to 4ac. If the roots are equal, that means b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. This term is equals to 0. If then only roots will be equal. The root is beta is equals to b by 2a. Beta is equals to b by 2a. This is beta is equals to b by 2a and b square is equals to 4ac. So from here what you can see that beta is equals to b by 2a, not b by a. This is also cancelled. And b square is equals to 4ac. This is b square is not equals to 4ac they are saying, but b square is equals to 4ac. So these two are cancelled. Now let's check for option B. Option B is saying beta square is equals to ac. What is beta square? Beta square will be b square by 4a square. 4a square. And now if you put the value of b square, that is 4ac. So b square is equals to 4ac by 4a square. 4 and 4 will get cancelled. That means it will become c by a. So beta square is equals to c by a. Beta square, here I was writing beta square. Beta square was b square by 4a square. B square is equals to 4ac. 4 and 4 got cancelled. So beta square is equals to c by a, which is not equals to ac. So even option B is correct. B is incorrect. And B is also incorrect. Let's check for option C. They are asking for beta cube. So beta cube they are asking. So what will be beta cube? That will be b cube upon 8a cube. In the final answer you need 2a square and bc. So in the final answer you need bc. So b square into b you need here, and 8a cube is there. That means here you need 2a square. That means 4a. Look, you need b by b and 2a square you need. B and 2a square you need. So I just put it aside. B by 2a square. So 4a is left and b square is left. So what is b square by 4a? That is c. B square by 4a is c. So we get bc by 2a square. So that is equals to beta cube. So is this answer correct? Yeah, this is correct. So beta cube is bc by 2a square. Let's move on to the last problem. That will be the last problem of 2022 gate question paper. You can solve it very easily. Even 6th grader can solve this problem. So the following figure shows the data of the students enrolled in 5 years for 2 schools P and Q during this period. So what is the ratio of the average number of students enrolled in school P? Number of students enrolled in school P, and average they are asking. So that would be 3 plus 5 plus 5, 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 divide by 5. That would be 9 plus 4, 13, 23 by 5. So this 23 by 5. School in P to the average of difference of the number student enrolled in school P and Q. So difference of the number between difference of the number of students enrolled in P and Q. So what is the difference here? The difference here is in 4 and 3 1 plus difference here is 7 and 5 2. Here difference is 8 minus 5 3. Here difference is 6 minus 5 1. And here difference is 5 minus 4 1. Divide by 5. So 8 by 5. So the ratio is 23 by 5 with 8 by 5. So it would be 23 ratio 8. Answer is B. That's it. That's the complete solution. So all the solution is completed. If you found the video helpful, please consider sharing it with your friends and do like it. Okay, thank you.